my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A couple of months after being the top overall pick in the NFL draft, Fernando Mendoza will be making his preseason debut tonight. The Raiders' plan for their rookie quarterback is plenty of snaps against the Cardinals. He could get some with members of the first-team offensive line. Mendoza's practiced mostly with the second team after Kirk Cousins was named the starter. Arizona rookie quarterback Carson Beck, rib injury, will not play. The injury, though, is not considered serious. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow and Cincinnati's other stars will play in at least a few snaps versus the Lions tonight. ESPN NFL reporter Jeremy Fowler.
They're trying to get in and out, just get like a dress rehearsal, and you won't see Joe Burrow on the field very long. But the Bengals liked how they did last year. Zach Taylor put him out there early in the preseason to get a dress run. It went well. Everybody was healthy. They got some good work in, made sure they were ready for week one. So they're going to replicate that plan. And also, Joe Burrow's missed significant time the last 3 to 4 years. So he wants to be out there with his guys, make sure that offense is crisp.
Bills coach Joe Brady planning on everybody that's healthy playing Saturday against Carolina, including quarterback Josh Allen, in the first game ever played at the team's new stadium.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Friday, Baker and the Bucks couldn't agree on a new deal. I'll tell you if any bad blood will carry into the regular season. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
This is Matt
Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride! Woo!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by LouisianaSports.net. Big day over there. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will. Hey, bud.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Braxton Rizzuto.
There goes Braxton.
Say polysyllabic first and last name. It's a mouthful. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Tigers were on the practice field today, so with the Saints joined practice with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We will dive into all that, but you might guess where we are going to begin. So let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Will. It's getting uncomfortable. Where to begin? The Jayden Daniels saga just continues to take twists and turns. So, went to dinner on Wednesday night with my buddies from the Bocock Brothers Cigars, and I got home, and typically at night is when I record my Locked on LSU podcast for the next morning. Usually drop it late at night for the overnight crowd, and it's there for everyone when they wake up. And it was late. It was 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and I was debating, do I want to stay up and record the pod or just wake up early, 5:30, and record it then? And I was kind of debating. I was going to go to bed. And then ESPN dropped the report about Jayden Daniels sending LSU a cease and desist over allowing DJ Pickett to wear number 5. I said, well, I'm guessing doing the show. And since then, at 11 p.m. or so Central Time, Wednesday night, this story has taken several dramatic twists and turns, leading us today to where what we reported over at LouisianaSports.net, where Jayden Daniels representatives have asked LSU to return his copy of the Heisman Trophy, or their copy of the Heisman Trophy. Let me just kind of catch you up on everything I know. We do have a report up at LouisianaSports.net. I did a Locked on LSU podcast if you want to check it out on this, but I'll kind of just catch you up on everything. So let's start with DJ Pickett's recruitment. I'll tell you what I know, because I did spend the bulk of the day today tracking down as many of the particulars in this story as possible. I did reach out to Brian Kelly, have not heard back. I did reach out to Jayden Daniels' mother, Regina, have not heard back. I did speak to folks within LSU football, within LSU's administration, people close to DJ Pickett, we could say it that way, in the Pickett camp. So I got a lot of perspective on this story today. When DJ Pickett was being recruited, he was promised number 5. I would go so far as to say that his commitment to LSU was contingent upon him wearing 5, and that is something that his 3 finalists knew, LSU, Miami, and Oregon. I'll say it another way. If LSU did not promise DJ Pickett number 5, he would not be at LSU. I will say that point blank. So Brian Kelly and the staff, Corey Raymond, defensive backs coach, said, sure, the number's not retired, you can wear it. Well, ESPN quoted Brian Kelly in their story, where Kelly said, yes, it was promised Pickett. However, Jayden Daniels wasn't okay with it, so they decided not to issue it. So they made a promise to Pickett, and they didn't hold the promise. So fast forward to this offseason. Pickett plays his true freshman season. He's a freshman All-American, and you go into this offseason. There's a coaching change. Lane Kiffin comes in. During those negotiations for DJ Pickett, I was told today that the focus of those negotiations was not money. Now, Pickett made more money coming back for this season than he did a year ago as a freshman because he's an outstanding player and all that stuff. But that wasn't the focus. The focus was the jersey number. He wanted to wear 5. And I would go so far as to say that Lane Kiffin had to make a decision. Do you give DJ Pickett number 5 and have him back this year? Or do you tell him he can't wear 5 and risk having him leave in the transfer portal, which I think, based on conversations I had today, was a very realistic possibility, maybe even a probability that Pickett would have left if he didn't get the number. And you can laugh at that. And as a 44-year-old man, I think that's silly. I mean, you came to LSU for a reason. You're being coached by Corey Raymond, Tiger Stadium, all the stuff, and you'd leave because of a number? Whatever. I could also flip it on its head and look at a 26-year-old quarterback in the NFL who's a multimillionaire many times over, who is in training camp with the Washington Commanders and is worried about his college jersey number. There's a lot of perspective that's being lacked in this situation from all angles. It is worth noting that according to LSU policy, if you go to the Hall of Fame page on LSU's policy, it reads, under a provision of the LSU jersey retirement bylaws established January 1st, 2007, the retirement of an athlete's jersey in a particular sport does not preclude a current student athlete in that sport from wearing that jersey number in that or any other sport, subject to the discretion of the head coach. I'm reading directly. So this was up to Lane Kiffin. And I think Lane Kiffin made the right decision. Can you imagine if DJ Pickett transferred because they wouldn't give him 5? I'd go over like a fart in church, man. Turn to punch bowl. You got to be kidding me. So yes, they did the right thing. I think this would have been made much easier if Jayden would have been okay with it, but clearly he wasn't, and that's led to a very messy situation. So that's the Pickett component. Let's look at Jayden. Jayden was made aware of this. So remember, Brian Kelly didn't say to me, said in the ESPN piece, that he didn't issue 5 to Pickett a year ago because Jayden wasn't okay with it. And they haven't issued 9s. Like, I can't issue one and not the other. So basically saying Jayden wasn't okay with it. I'm not issuing it if Jayden's not okay with it. Okay? So they didn't. Fast forward to this year, Lane Kiffin comes in. They make the decision to give DJ Pickett the jersey, the number. DJ was doing a photo shoot for Our Lady of the Lake. If you follow our content, we're obviously partnered with Our Lady of the Lake. They're a great partner of ours. They're also a championship health partner of LSU Athletics. I've told you a million times. There are 23 LSU football players that have NIL deals this year with the Lake. So they did, weeks ago, photo and video shoots for their deliverables. Well, DJ Pickett is one of the Our Lady of the Lake athletes, and he was photographed wearing 5. That photograph leaked. A photograph leaked. Jayden saw it. he got very upset and reached out to some LSU leadership expressing his displeasure. I know there's a lot of people today who are assuming that Jayden's mother, Regina, is at the forefront of all this. I do not believe she is without blame or fault in this. I would assume she's probably escalated some of it in her mind in defending her son. But Jayden's the one that reached out first, personally, to LSU leadership to express his displeasure. I'll say it again. He's a 26-year-old multimillionaire many times over, quarterback of an NFL team. He has the power and the autonomy and the authority to stop all this. And he got very bad advice or just misread the situation entirely because Jayden Daniels is getting crushed today. And rightfully so, quite honestly. So, I think once Jayden reached out, displeased that the number was going to be worn, part of Jayden's team, let's say, reached out to representatives of the Heisman Trophy, the trust, asking that LSU's copy of the award be rescinded. Jayden would prefer it be displayed at his high school in California. If you're not familiar, and I guess I learned this today because some people are not aware of this, there are 2 copies of every Heisman Trophy. The player, the winner, gets one, and the school gets one. So you walk into LSU football ops, look immediately to the right. That's all the national awards, the national championship trophies, and there's 3 Heismans. Dr. Cannon, Joe Burrow, Jayden. Boom, 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 right there in a row. By the way, Jayden's Heisman is still at football ops. I took a picture of it today. It's right there. The problem is it's not Jayden or the Trust's award to rescind. It belongs to LSU. If Jayden wants his copy of his Heisman Trophy at his high school, fine. He can go present his copy to his high school and display it there. For many years, Dr. Billy Cannon's Heisman, his version, was at TJ Ribb's restaurant in Baton Rouge. That's where he chose to display it. His good friend TJ Moorhan owned that restaurant. I was told point blank LSU has zero intention whatsoever of returning their copy of Jayden's Heisman. It's not going anywhere. And while Jayden's the player, LSU provided tremendous support. The opportunity to play at LSU, coaching, the platform to play in Tiger Stadium in the Southeastern Conference. LSU did tremendous work as far as a Heisman campaign for Jayden and the promotion for him to win that award. So LSU has no intention whatsoever of giving up their copy of Jayden's Heisman. As for the cease and desist that Jayden's attorneys sent LSU a week ago, as I was told today, LSU is undecided on, first of all, this is not a legally binding document. So they can ask LSU to stop using his name, image, and likeness in promotion. LSU doesn't have to comply. This is not a legally binding document. It's a request. And actually, one person today told me they want to go to court, we'll go to court. I hope, my God, I hope it doesn't come to that. But I can't help but think, like, you go in Tiger Stadium and, at one of the timeouts when they do the video board of all the Tigers in the NFL, that video, you going to take Jayden Daniels off of that? I was walking through football ops today, going for the interviews, and they have a wall of all the All-Americans in LSU history, photos and names and years and everything like that. I took a picture of Jayden's. It's still up. I mean, are you going to take that off the wall? To what extent do you never show Jayden's touchdown to Mason Taylor again? Like, what do you do? I don't know. So I think they're undecided to what degree they might comply or choose to comply or not. They'll make that decision at a different time. We'll see. But they're in a very, very sticky spot. I do have a lot of feelings on this, but I want to stay on time. So let me do this. I'll knock out my first break, quick break. We'll come back and I'll pick up on this as I kind of let you know what else I was told today. I mean, that's kind of the nuts and the bolts of the story, how it's transpired, what's transpired. So there's the component of it, what's next. And I do have a lot of thoughts on that and what should happen here. And so we'll dive into all that as we continue. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. And the official beer of the Saints. Saints' first preseason game is Saturday in the Dome. Going to be heading down there. Make sure you drink plenty of delicious ice cold Bud Light. Going to be watching at home, your favorite restaurant, watering hole, wherever you may be this summer and into the fall. Make sure you're celebrating all football season long with delicious ice cold Bud Light, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Okay, we'll continue the Jayden Daniels conversation. If you want to join us, email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. We'll continue. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions over at Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com. I say it all the time. It doesn't matter if it's skilled blue-collar labor or if it's their professional placement division for any type of white-collar job. Our friends over at Glow Resources can help you find the people for the jobs, the hard-to-fill jobs, to help make your business the most efficient and productive it can be. Just a few, for instances. They're looking for a barge washer, a company in Wagaman, Louisiana, a foreman in Port St. Lucie, Florida, a pipe layer in Sanford, North Carolina. We can go on and on and on and on because there's plenty of them. There's a company in Baton Rouge that's looking for a chief financial officer. Got CFO experience? They're looking for you. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online at GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com.
People ask why I chose to partner with Parrish. The answer is simple: trust. Whether you're choosing teammates, business partners, or the people working on your home or business, choose a company you know and trust. Visit parrishbuilt.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
All right, right, so we're making our way through this messy situation with Jayden Daniels and the number 5 jersey. For what it's worth, Lane Kiffin and DJ Pickett both spoke to reporters today. Lane, when he opened up his press conference, simply said that he made a statement last week, wouldn't make a further statement. He was asked a follow-up. I'm going to play this, Braxton. He was asked a follow-up about number 9. He said if someone in the future, was hypothetical, wanted to wear number 9, would you issue number 9? This is what Lane said.
Understand numbers. If someone were to ask for number 9.
Don't worry about it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Lane effectively said he wasn't going to deal in hypotheticals, didn't want to answer it, didn't want to talk anymore about numbers. They're complicated. A little bit of a runaround in any event. DJ Pickett did meet with reporters today. I don't think that was the plan initially. I did talk to Sports Information and believe the reason that they brought DJ out today was to effectively just attack this thing head on, let him answer to it, for it, and then be done with it. If, hypothetically, they didn't bring DJ Pickett in for interviews today, and then a week, 10 days later, whatever it may be, they did bring him, well, that would be the first time he met with reporters, and then he'd be asked about it. So the story would then be sort of unearthed again, rebirthed. And I think the idea was let him talk about it, move on. I will say that when Michael Bonnet brought DJ Pickett in, he said, look, DJ's going to make a statement. Please, he requested that everybody keep their questions to football questions for DJ Pickett. Now, we collectively, and I was in the room, respected that request. Part of me regrets doing that because I think it's our job to ask questions, and I think there are things about this story that still need to be clarified. And I did request afterwards more clarity from Lane Kiffin or someone within LSU on the story, because I think there's things that need to be answered. Some of the things that we've reported over at LouisianaSports.net that I would like for folks at LSU, namely Lane Kiffin, to say on the record. How did that process go with DJ Pickett this offseason? Has Lane and Jayden Daniels spoken? One of the things that we reported at LouisianaSports.net is that Kiffin and Jayden Daniels have been in contact. I was told they traded messages. So one thing that I do know about Lane is he likes to voice. He'll send voice memos. He'll record a voice memo and text a voice memo. So I'm not sure if he recorded a voice memo and sent it to Jayden, or they just played phone tag and left each other voicemails. I was told that Lane did speak to Jayden's mother, Regina, who's also his agent. So they did speak on the phone. So I think some of that is still to be determined, and we'll see what clarification we get of this. Again, it all feels, to me anyway, very silly and very childish and very petty. I think from Jayden's point of view, the number's not retired. It's no different. I feel no different today than I did a week ago when we talked about this when they issued it to DJ Pickett. I'm not someone that's super passionate about numbers. I really don't care. I don't care about 7 and 18. There's a lot of people that do. I don't. My line is always put a poop emoji on the front of the jersey. I don't care. If 5 means a lot to DJ Pickett, it's not retired. You promised him the number. Issue him the number. For me, what I would like to see happen moving forward is that LSU clarify this policy. It's in black and white. I just read it for you in the last segment. It is in black and white, this policy. It is up to numbers are not retired. They can still be worn. It's up to the discretion of the head coach. And those are the retired jerseys that we're talking about. 5 and 9 aren't even retired jerseys yet. Those players have not been honored. So there's no reason why you shouldn't issue those numbers. None. So I have no problem with Pickett wearing 5 or anybody wearing 9. Literally none. So the conversation that we're having today when people are trying to somehow discredit Jade and say, well, he didn't win a natty or they lost 3 games, that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant that Joe won a natty. LSU doesn't retire numbers. One person I spoke to at LSU today brought up a great point. Said retiring numbers is an antiquated policy. The NFL has moved to the Ring of Honor model. 100 years ago, people retired jersey numbers. They retired numbers. But I think everyone now has realized the error of the way, because if you keep retiring numbers in a sport with that many players, you run out of numbers. There's plenty of ways you can honor somebody. Plenty. And that's what I would like to see LSU clarify and do a better job of. Waive the 5-year waiting period for a Heisman winner and build him a statue. Dr. Cannon's statue is right there on the west side of Tiger Stadium. Joe and Jayden should already have statues there as well. If you had done that, this likely isn't an issue. Likely not an issue. My hope is that one day, and I think it will happen, the old adage that time heals all wounds, I think one day we will get to a point where this is rectified. And Jayden and LSU are able to sort of come together here. Because what really sucks about this is it feels very much like when a parent and their child are estranged and like the other parent has to make a decision. Like, do I side with my spouse or do I side with my child? It's an impossible situation. So I think LSU fans are sort of in that situation right now. And overwhelmingly, people are going to side with LSU because you're never going to stop cheering for your team or your program on account of behalf of one player. But it doesn't mean that people don't love this player who was outstanding and a shining, sterling example of LSU's rich, storied history. I mean, Jayden Daniels is one of 3 Heisman Trophy winners. What he did in 2023 was magnificent. We are all, those of us who were fortunate enough to live through, watch, and see it and have a front row seat for it, like, we'll remember that forever, which is awesome. So it sucks that people are here having to justify their feelings by discrediting Jayden Daniels, which is stupid because he's magnificent. And he's a good guy and represented LSU exceptionally well during his time here. So nobody today should be in any way discrediting Jayden to justify or validate your feelings. Your feelings are what they are. And my feelings are probably the same as a lot of you, which is like sending a cease and desist over a jersey number is stupid. Asking for your Heisman Trophy back is childish and petty and foolish, and nobody can wrap their head around why that makes any sense whatsoever because someone's wearing your jersey number, which isn't even retired. So my hope is the powers that be at LSU can have their FaceTime with Jayden, whatever it's going to take, so they can get on the same accord, they can get back together, move on, process, heal, and do the right thing by everybody. Now, for whatever it's worth, Jayden, just about an hour ago, did put on his Instagram story. I'll read this for you. I screenshot it and tweet it if you want to see it, but I'll read it for you. Jayden said, I've been locked in on training camp, and that's been my number one focus. I have a lot of gratitude for my time at LSU, and I'm proud of what my teammates and I accomplished there. Obviously, there are issues to be worked out between my team and LSU, and my hope is that it will get done privately. My sole personal focus is on Commanders football. I realize the business of football is unique, and I trust this can all be resolved. And then he put a tiger emoji and a raise hail emoji, the Commanders emoji. That might be the most sensible thing Jayden's done through all this so far. And he notes that he hopes his team and LSU can get this done privately. But it is important to note that the reason this isn't private is because Jayden's team issued a cease and desist. He had an attorney issue a cease and desist to LSU that they stop using his name, image, and likeness. If Jayden wanted to privately pick up the phone and call anyone at LSU, at the system level, the LSU level, the athletic department, the football program, anybody, he could have had that conversation, that audience. Of course he could. the way he went about doing it is what's led to this mess. So hopefully they are able to have a conversation privately, let this die down, find some common ground, can all move on, and we can honor Jayden like he deserves to be honored while somebody wears 5, because who cares? It's a number. Said it yesterday or last week. I mean, Graham Mertz is wearing Tim Tebow's number at Florida. Fernando Mendoza's jersey. He just won the Heisman in December. His jersey number's already been issued. Joe Shad quote tweeted this a bit ago. This is from Sleeper CFB. The last 10 Heisman Trophy winners and when their jersey number was worn after they left. Fernando Mendoza's number is being worn this year. Travis Hunter, Colorado, retired his number. Jayden's is being worn now on defense. Caleb Williams is retired at Southern Cal. Bryce Young's number was worn 2 years later. Devontae Smith's number was worn the next season. Joe Burrow, obviously, it's not been worn since. Kyler Murray's number was worn the next year. Baker Mayfield's 6 was worn 4 years later. And Lamar Jackson's number was worn the next year. It is very common for Heisman winners to have their jersey worn after their careers are over. This is not an unrealistic thing. Hopefully they can fix it. Okay, it's after further review. Thanks for being here with us. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Hunting season's almost here, y'all. And I know for a lot of folks, you'll be hunting on someone else's property on your lease. If next year you don't want to pass on that trophy buck because you don't want to break the unwritten rule of taking down the trophy buck on someone else's property because you want it to be your property, start that process today of buying your own land at First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. If you're thinking of buying land anywhere in the lower 48, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Okay, it's after further review. We're glad you're aboard with us here. We'll now got a quick break. If you want to weigh in, you can. You can email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. No doubt there's lots of reaction today to the Jayden Daniels saga as it's continued to unfold. There's been it's been a heavy traffic day over at LouisianaSports.net, as you might imagine, with us breaking the news about Jayden's camp asking for his Heisman return. The tweet that I put out's at 2 million views already. But in any event, if you want to weigh in, you can feel free. Email us, tweet us, or text 225-396-4400. All right, we'll knock out a quick break. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
DuplessisPools.com is already a really cool website with the pick your pool function on the homepage. Well, now they've taken it to the next level. Because when you go to the homepage at DuplessisPools.com and you click pick your pool, you can now do a 3D build out of your favorite pool design. There's 11 different pool designs. So pick one, whichever one you want, whichever one you like the best. And you will see a 3D build out of your pool. So just start selecting your features. Tiling, coping, steps, sun deck, water wall, jets, lights, whatever. And as you pick those options, it's going to build the pool right there in 3D, and it'll adjust the price. And by the way, if you drop a credit card and pay your deposit, it'll issue a contract right there on the site. Look, you buy a card online. Why not buy a pool? DuplessisPools.com. Check them out online. DuplessisPools.com. DuplessisPools.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge.
Proform Steel, proformla.com. You can get a quote there at proformla.com. We're talking about metal buildings, by the way. That's what Proform Steel does. Talk from a shed in your backyard to a giant industrial metal building, if that's what you need. Proformla.com. Proformla.com. Remember Brandon Golson? I mean, he's on the state licensing board. So you know you're talking about a super ethical guy who's been in the business forever, does great work. All of the materials made in the U.S. of A. They offer free delivery on everything. No exceptions. Free delivery on it, no matter how big or small that building is. You buy a metal building from Proform Steel, they will deliver it for free. Proformla.com, proformla.com. It's easy. Go to the website, request a quote, the tab right there at the top of the page, fill out the details of what you're looking for, and someone will call you same day with that up-to-date quote. It's Proform Steel. Proformla.com, proformla.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
Good, awesome work. I think awesome work. Appreciate Jacksonville coming down here, and I think it was a great day for both teams just to get a bunch of really good work. I felt like it was a positive day for our guys, and just from a standpoint of getting really good work for the ones and getting prepared for the season. And so, this is the first of 3 of these, but I love what we were able to accomplish today, and there's still a lot of lessons that we're going to have to learn from this.
That was Kellen Moore after the Saints worked out joint practices with the Jacksonville Jaguars. On Thursday, they'll work out again on Friday, and then you'll have the preseason game coming up on Saturday. The one thing that I guess it was a couple of newsy things that Kellen Moore did announce Spencer Rattler as the starting quarterback for Saturday's preseason game. So Rattler, not tremendously surprising. You've been following along with Ross Jackson's up-to-date Saints training camp reports that Rattler seems to be really one of the stars. They're certainly starring beyond Zach Wilson. But it's just a different level, right? Whenever you go get out on the practice field and then whenever you go play a game. So both are young veteran quarterbacks with Wilson and with Rattler, but Rattler will get the first crack at it. I will be interested to see if and clearly we won't see Tyler Shuck. I remember you only got 3 preseason games. But, like, for example, a year ago, the dramatic difference was you didn't have a starter. You had Rattler, Shuck, and Jay Kaner was still there as well, that were all sort of battling for it. But you saw Rattler and Shuck alternate starting opportunities and who was taking the lion's share of the reps and the drives, et cetera. So I guess I'm curious to see, as they go through the game on Saturday, how they divvy the reps with Rattler and with Zach Wilson. Like, does Rattler get the first half and Wilson get the second, or does Rattler play a quarter and then Wilson plays the bulk of the game, the duration of the game? I don't know. So that'll be interesting to see how all of that plays out. But it'll be Spencer Rattler starting the preseason opener for the New Orleans Saints Saturday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. There was a 90-play workout on Thursday in the joint practice between the two, And Rattler got to see a good bit of work there. Of course, started the season last year for the Saints as the starting quarterback the first 8 games before Shuck eventually took over and started the final 9 games of the season. So that's one thing. The other sort of newsy thing is something that's not great, and it's that Jordyn Tyson apparently got a little dinged today.
Yeah, I just know something with his leg. Him and Burgess was the other guy that left, something with their lower body, but I wasn't over there for that one either. So we'll see. We'll get more information. We probably have a better idea tomorrow.
I haven't seen any reports yet about the severity of the injury or the nature of the injury, so I don't want to overreact to it. The thing that is certainly relevant is Jordyn Tyson's got an injury history. I mean, this was part of the hesitation with Tyson when they drafted him. And it's certainly hopeful that this is a minor thing, but apparently the injury, and I'm reading from Ross Jackson's report over at Louisiana Sports.net, apparently the injury happened on a play where he made a diving catch. So it was an impressive catch, but he stayed on the ground, got up, jogged off, which was a really good sign that he got up and was able to jog off, didn't need to be attended to. They have a walkthrough on Friday before playing the game on Saturday, and perhaps it's a thing where you don't need Jordyn Tyson to play in that preseason game. We all know he's the 9th pick of the draft. You have tremendous amount invested in him, so what you need is for him to be healthy week 1, ready to go against the Detroit Lions. And quite honestly, the thing that many of us on Friday's show will talk about what we're looking for in the Saints preseason opener against Jacksonville, but one of the things I think that many of us are excited to see is the receiver depth. Like, we know that Chris Olave and Jordyn Tyson, and I guess by an extent Devon Vele, although I don't think anything should be guaranteed Devon Vele, but those 3 are locked in. And after that, Bryce Lance and Barry and Brown are very likely your 4 and 5 receivers. But this is an opportunity to see all those receivers get out there and run around and make plays. So if you take Olave off the field, which they likely will, and if Tyson doesn't play, which I assume he won't given this little nick here, whatever it is, it's an even better opportunity to see Bryce Lance and Barry Brown get out there and go run around and hopefully make plays in a game-like situation on Saturday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So not that you want to see Jordyn Tyson injured, but I'd rather this happen on August the 13th instead of September the 8th, when you're a week before the season opener, and then it's a question as to whether or not I'd be ready to go against Detroit. So they'll continue to gear him up, see if they get him ready to go, and we'll tell you about the severity of this or what the injury is whenever we know more. One more from Kellen Moore. He did talk a little bit to reporters after practice about what he had kind of hoped to get out of the joint practices as a whole.
I think you get different looks and different play styles. Every defense is going to play it a little bit different. And so I think that's good exposure. When your offense and defense goes together for, however many practices we've had, 10, 11 practices, you kind of get accustomed to, the way you fit combination blocks, the way, the front is structured and all these different things. And so you kind of get used to that. And now you get it and it's presented in a different way. And so I think that's really good work for our guys. And that's a really good football team. That team was in the playoffs for a reason last year. And so I think the teams we're competing against the next few weeks is going to really do a great job of preparing us.
Kellen Moore talking about joint practices here on Thursday between the Saints and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Remember, the Jags at one point had kind of become a little bit of an LSU feeder system, especially there on the defensive line. Remember, you had Jordan Jefferson, you had Mason Smith. Obviously, Brian Thomas Jr. is still there. So there had become this sort of influx of LSU talent there to Jacksonville. So maybe a bounce-back season this year for Brian Thomas Jr. It'll be interesting to see him with the Jaguars in this game, or to whatever degree he might play, whatever extent he might play. And then obviously with Mason Smith, it just hasn't really manifest yet during his NFL career for Mason Smith, who now is no longer with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's now in Atlanta with the Falcons. So we'll look at the LSU guys that are hanging around in Jacksonville when they play the game on Saturday in the Dome, and we'll look forward to it. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Actually chatted earlier today with Brandon Holly. Pretty cool, man. Brandon Holly and Relief Windows, now an official partner of LSU Athletics. So naturally, being an official partner of LSU Athletics, Relief Windows was able to go shoot one of their new commercials in Tiger Stadium. So actually, there's some photos on social media if you want to go check them out of some behind-the-scenes stuff, which I think it's pretty cool. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But pretty cool stuff of Brandon shooting these commercials. And he also told me, maybe a little bit of the cat out of the bag, but maybe a couple of young defensive linemen, young star defensive linemen who might be joining Brandon Holly in the commercial. As a matter of fact, I didn't give it away. I mean, you can see there's the photo right there of Brandon next to number 55. That, of course, is Lamar Brown. Deuce Gerald's might have found his way in one of those spots as well. So be on the lookout for the new Relief Windows spots with Brandon Holly, Lamar Brown, and Deuce Gerald's from inside of Tiger Stadium. Relief Windows, proud partner of LSU Athletics, Relief Windows, and reliefwindows.com. Okay, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition of AFR. We are going to knock out a quick break. By the way, we will have Ross Jackson join us for his customary spot at the top of hour number 3 to go through the Saints camp report, so you will not want to miss that. We'll get an update on Tyson's injury if we have it. We'll sort of give a little bit of a preview before the Saints take on Jacksonville on Saturday, the decision to name Spencer Rattler the starter in the preseason opener, all that stuff. We'll get into it with Ross coming up in hour number 3. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 1. The final SP Plus rankings are out before the start. The final preseason SP Plus rankings. And there's one notable metric adjustment for LSU that I actually think maybe points to serve LSU well. I'll tell you what it is next on AFR.
After Further Review.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. You see them all over town. Your friends and neighbors trust River City's 1 Hour Air just like I do. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. It's 95 degrees right now at 3:46 in the afternoon. Air temp is even hotter than that. So if you have issue with your AC, if it's struggling to keep up, make sure you call our friends at River City's 1 Hour Air. They'll come out. They'll make sure your AC is tuned up, ready to roll, tip-top shape. If you have an issue, they'll get you fixed up, squared away, and you can always trust the expertly trained technicians that come out to your house from River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001 for River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Every ounce of Raising Cane's lemonade has been hand-squeezed that day from fresh lemons before being served over our signature crushed ice. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
People ask why I chose to partner with Parrish. The answer is simple: trust. Whether you're choosing teammates, business partners, or the people working on your home or business, choose a company you know and trust. Visit parrishbuilt.com.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
If your office is experiencing...
After further review with Matt Moscona.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Amid all the hoopla with Jayden Daniels, we didn't even get to the LSU football practice report from today. We'll do that in about a dozen minutes coming up after SportsCenter at the top of the hour. The SP Plus is something we talk about every year from ESPN's Bill Connelly's metric. Bill's been a good friend of the show over the years, and he is sort of a self-described numbers nerd. And the SP Plus is just that. I mean, he has put together an algorithm, this amalgamation of all these different metrics, and it spits out the SP Plus, and it ranks teams and ranks strength of schedule and all that sort of stuff using these other metrics. And it's something that's interesting just to take a peek at because it's not reporters at a media days or, SID interns filling out the coach's poll bracket for the coach's poll for a coach who doesn't really have time for it. The SP Plus is a metric, and these are the final preseason rankings that Bill Connelly has put out. So offensive ranking, defensive ranking, special teams ranking, their overall rank, and then strength of schedule and the average number of wins when this is spit out against its schedule. So if you're looking at the final SP Plus rankings, Ohio State is number one in the preseason according to SP Plus, followed up by Oregon, Notre Dame, Georgia, and Indiana. There's your top five. Texas, Miami, Texas Tech at 8, Texas A&M 9, and then LSU 10. Oklahoma 11, Southern Cal, Alabama, Tennessee, Michigan. There's your top 15. SP Plus, not real bullish on Ole Miss. They've got them 16th. A couple of other SEC squads. Missouri at 19, Florida at 20. LSU, of course, plays Clemson this year. They're preseason number 23. LSU does not play South Carolina, but they're preseason 24. Auburn is 26. There's Vandy at 29. We could go on, but you kind of get the gist. Arkansas is at 44. Kentucky down there at 47. That's an LSU opponent this year. Mississippi State at 52. A couple of things that I thought stood out when I was looking at this number as it pertains to LSU. Remember, Bill puts out an offensive, defensive, special teams ranking in the overall. So LSU overall is 10th. LSU's defensive ranking in the SP Plus is 3rd. Ohio State 1, Oregon 2. This is one thing that I think you'll like. Ohio State 1, Oregon 2. By the way, those are the numbers 1 and 2 teams in the SP Plus that happen to also be 1 and 2 in the defensive rankings. So LSU 3rd in the defensive rankings is down there at 10. The reason they're ranked so low is LSU's special teams number is 53, and the offensive ranking is 21. Now, I understand why a computer looks at LSU and has their offensive ranking at 21. We all saw the LSU offense a year ago. It wasn't good. But there's a lot of context around that you can't explain to a computer. And that context is, well, a year ago, Garrett Nussmeier, we know, later got hurt, missed time. Michael Van Buren wasn't very good. Made an offensive coordinator change for the final month of the season, and it wasn't very good. A lot of those guys are gone. You brought in a new offense. Oh, by the way, you have a new head coach, new offensive coordinator. I and you and humans who can see and think and process can all objectively assume LSU is going to be better offensively this year with Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss running the offense than they were a year ago, regardless of who the players are. And then you start to work through all the players that they've added, and you can go, they should be better. So all that to say, I'm really encouraged by that. Now, the average win in the simulation is 8.5. And that's, by the way, where Vegas has LSU's win total over-under as well, is 8.5. And a big part of that is schedule. But the strength of schedule rank for LSU, according to SP Plus, is down at 19. Remember, we talked about these strength of schedule numbers a few weeks ago when LSU had a top 10 strength of schedule, but it was like 9th of 10 in the SEC. It was like the 10th overall, but 9th in the SEC. Well, you look at it now, and LSU's strength of schedule is 19th in America as it's been adjusted with the updated SP Plus rankings. So maybe and by the way, if you're wondering why Ole Miss is down there, their offensive number is 11, defensive 26. Special teams at Ole Miss, number 1 in the country. Obviously, had a great kicker last year. But their strength of schedule is 8, and SP Plus has Ole Miss winning 7.2 games. So it's one of those things where Ole Miss, with Trinidad Chambliss coming back, might be good with Chambliss and Lacey. But against that schedule, and no Lane Kiffin, no Charlie Weiss, could be a good team without a great result, largely because of the schedule. Hour 2 after SportsCenter.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. Gents, if you're thinking of popping the question, thrill her with a gift in the red box. Lee Michaels has helped Louisianians get engaged for more than 40 years. lmfj.com, lmfj.com, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Now, maybe you're not popping the question. Maybe it's an anniversary, and you're looking for the perfect gift. Maybe she has a birthday coming up. Diamond rings are awesome. I mean, you can never go wrong with a diamond. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. But what about beautiful earrings or necklaces or watches or pendants or bracelets? There's so many great options at Lee Michaels, and they have 9 different locations. So you're going to get the great selection. And because they have the great selection, they can give you the great price, but you're always going to get the Lee Michaels experience. Check them out online at lmfj.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
The Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office protects and serves over 132,000 residents across the parish.
Keeping our community safe is our mission, and Rev Fiber plays a critical role in how we respond. Whether it's training in our special divisions, forensics investigations, or fielding emergency calls in our operations center, Rev Business connects our teams in real time, which is why we partner with Rev Business.
Get 6 months free of Rev Business services. Call or click today.
Community sailing is all about getting people in the New Orleans area out on boats, out on Lake Pontchartrain. Gulf Coast Bank helps us provide opportunities to get folks out who might not otherwise have the financial means to come sailing. Auctions in August is an online fundraiser that helps nonprofits like us service the community. Bidding through Auctions in August is a lot of fun because there's so many different items. There's something for everyone, so you're sure to find something that relates directly to you that you'll enjoy bidding on, and you get to help out the community.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
People ask why I chose to partner with Parrish. The answer is simple: trust. Whether you're choosing teammates, business partners, or the people working on your home or business, choose a company you know and trust. Visit parrishbuilt.com.
I'm Billy Schmidt, and I've been with First American Bank for 13 years. I have a passion of getting to know customers, getting to know their journeys, getting to know their stories, and being a small part of that, and just continuing that, and taking those relationships and expanding out into the community, just to make First American a household name. And people look at us and say, hey, what's special about you guys? You're part of a family.
This is
Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. First overall pick in the NFL draft, Raiders quarterback Fernando Mendoza set to get plenty of reps in tonight's preseason opener. He's practiced mostly with the second team this summer, but could get some snaps with a few members of the first team offensive line. Two things to keep an eye on when it comes to Mendoza tonight, says ESPN's Dan Orlovsky.
Ease for Fernando Mendoza. Ease getting in and out of the huddle, something that he did not do in college. Ease at the line of scrimmage, handling all the formations, the shifts, the motions that Clint Kubiak is going to put him under. The next step would be for me, if it doesn't go great, there's a lack of comfort in it. How does he handle that? What's his poise like?
Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes won't play Saturday as he continues to make his way back from knee surgery. Bills QB Josh Allen to play Saturday versus Carolina in the first game ever played at the team's new stadium. The Rams expect receiver Puka Nacua, who's dealing with groin soreness, to return to practice next week. Baseball, Caleb Durbin's grand slam is up the Red Sox lead to 5-0 on the Blue Jays top 8. Boston trying to snap a 5-game losing streak.
If you run a small business, you've got to try Gusto. Get unlimited payroll runs and get your payroll taxes filed automatically. Offer health insurance, 401k, and more. Get started for free at gusto.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by LouisianaSports.net. Y'all nearly crashed the site earlier today. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will.
Hey, bud.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Braxton Rarudo.
There goes Braxton.
Those are Z's. They look like R's to me. You're cheating. Rizzuto's a baseball player. He's not even he's a person, not a baseball player. It's from Billy Madison. Don't worry about it. Mr. Toby Tomplay. It's not even a word. He's a baseball player. That's it. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Busy day. Of course, the Jayden Daniels saga is kind of dominating headlines. I did tweet out a photo, shared it on all my social media, actually, if you're interested. You may not be, and I'm not being funny with it. I think I hear something playing. There's something playing, Braxton. Okay. With LSU or Jayden's camp issuing the cease and desist last week, according to ESPN, I think maybe there's a question certainly in the conversation I had with folks at LSU today about whether or not they intend to, or to what degree they might honor Jayden's request on the cease and desist. Jayden's stuff is still up. I mean, they haven't taken anything down. His Heisman's still there. I mean, there it is right there. I mean, you walk in football. If you've never been in football ops, and I recognize a lot of people haven't been, when you walk in the front door, there's a desk, like a reception desk, and you turn immediately to the right, pull up, picture up, Paulie, and that's what you see. Immediately to your right. It's a hallway with all the trophies. And just boom, 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 bing, bang, boom. The first thing right in the middle, right in the center, are the 3 Heismans. And the first one's Jayden's, because it's the most recent, right? Then the national championship trophies, all the individual awards. And then Jayden's, there's a wall. If you're walking toward the team room where we do press conferences, the entire wall is all the All-Americans. They have these plaques, pull it up. And Jayden's All-American plaque is still there. So it's a photo of the player, so like a black and white sort of silhouette photo with their name, position, and the year they were an All-American. So Jayden's stuff is still up. So the conversations I had today, I think it was, I sincerely hope it doesn't come to this. Reading Jayden's Instagram story, where he said he's solely focused right now on getting ready for, or being in camp right now with the Commanders and getting ready for the NFL season, which he should be, by the way. Like, that should be his sole focus right now. But said like his team and LSU have some things to work on. Hopefully they can do so. The word he used was privately. Hopefully they can do that. Then all of this becomes just a total non-issue. It's a moot point if it can be, hopefully, where we don't even have to consider this. But the conversations that I was having earlier today with some folks at LSU asking the question, well, like, if you do honor the cease and desist, like, what does that mean? Do you not use Jayden highlights and highlight videos? The NFL, the Tigers in the NFL video they played in Tiger Stadium during timeouts. Like, do you take Jayden out of that? I mean, there's the quarterback route. Like, you go through football ops, and I mean, Jayden's everywhere. He won a freaking Heisman, man. I mean, he's got his All-America plaques, his Heisman stuff. I mean, there's big floor-to-ceiling wallpaper photo of Jayden in there. I mean, of course you're going to display your Heisman winner proudly and honor his accomplishments. Or do you just take all that stuff down? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't think LSU has a great answer. But they got the cease and desist a week ago after it became public that DJ Pickett was wearing the number. We only found out about it when Mark Schlabach at ESPN broke the news on Wednesday night. So we're continuing to see and learn and hear more about it. And as we get more, we'll pass it on. But hopefully they're able to, LSU and Jayden collectively together are able to work through this. So while all of that was happening, so very candidly, had a lot of phone calls this morning. Our practice availability today was at 10:05 a.m. and I had a tweet typed out and then sort of decided, well, probably should write out a full story, which ended up being a good decision. It did great traffic, as you might imagine, for LouisianaSports.net. So when we went into practice for our 15 minutes or so, I stayed on the near field by our entrance to watch the defense and the special teams. Hunt went over and watched the offense. Of note, Jace Brown was in a gold jersey but participated. Trey'Dez Green was in a gold jersey but participated. When we were there on Tuesday, Jabari Mack was in a gold jersey on the far field working out with a trainer. Today, he was in the gold jersey but working out with the receivers. And Winnie Watkins was absent for the third consecutive practice. Lane Kiffin was asked about Watkins being absent and said, I don't talk about injuries, so didn't give a reason for it. One thing I will tell you is that, again, this is something I was told off the record. After Tuesday's practice, all the days run together sometimes, the night practice they had 2 nights ago on Tuesday, Watkins was not out there during the media viewing portion. But I was told after practice that Watkins returned in a gold jersey and participated in the team portion of the drill. Now, when it comes to Trey'Dez Green, I've already told you that. Like, there's nothing wrong with Trey'Dez Green. They have him in gold for the same reason they have quarterbacks in gold. Like, he is way too valuable. Nobody hit him. I kind of think the same thing might be true with Jace Brown. Like, when you go watch Jace Brown run around out there is nothing at all that is discernible that would be limiting him. I think you're just talking about guys that are their best players, and they're trying to keep them healthy and cut down on hits. Some of you have suggested, well, it's a full contact game, and you got to practice getting hit and all that. I understand that, but at what cost? Especially, I want you to think through this, right? Put yourself in Lane's mind if you can, where he often talks about how this is the best way to say it. When Lane talked about the 9-game schedule, conference schedule, one of the things he talked about was at Ole Miss, they were 20-0 in the non-conference. They intentionally scheduled light out of conference so they had easy wins, and in many cases, they had their starters out of the game. So their snap counts were lower. So their guys were fresher later in the season because they were playing fewer snaps. They didn't have to go play 70, 80 snaps against really tough opponents. You had exhale spots where they were getting depth, experience, and getting their starters out of the game. Well, if you're not going to have that luxury in a 9-game conference schedule and Clemson, maybe the way you reduce some of those hits and the grind and the wear and tear is here in camp. Like, you don't let them get hit in camp. Like, maybe that's one of the ways they do it, at least early in camp, and maybe you ramp them up as camp goes on. That's just an assumption on my part. I'm opining here. I'm theorizing, hypothesizing. Maybe that's what they're looking at. So DJ Pickett was out there wearing number 5. That should come as no surprise whatsoever. Couple of my notes. I actually made the decision that I wanted to go watch the place kickers because the defense was just doing, they're hitting sleds and the ends are bending around, tackling dummies and stuff. We're not seeing anything of consequence. So I was like, let me go watch the kickers. Maybe I can chart some field goals from the place kickers. And all the place kickers were lined up on the far field, and they had the ball just flat on the ground, and they were swiping their leg past the ball, kicking air. So I didn't even get to chart field goals. They didn't even actually kick balls while we were out there. So it was one of those days where we pretty consistently are getting to see less and less from during our allotted availability. So it's just enough time really to go take rolls, see who's in goal, no contact, maybe chart the throws from the quarterbacks and receivers, and maybe see how the assistant coaches are working. For example, Ed Ogeron was with Kevin Peoples today working with the defensive tackles. Late last week, he was with Sterling Lucas working with the edge rushers. So today it was Peoples and Ogeron working with the tackles. It was Lucas and Lou Spanos working with the edge rushers. The safeties were working on dropping in coverage, catching an interception and then returning it. Linebackers were doing interception drills. The offensive linemen who were working combo blocks on Tuesday were working one-on-one blocks today. Just the stuff you'd see in individual settings. But the notable, the newsworthy stuff was what we just went through with some of the guys in gold. So we'll keep eyes and keep tabs on those guys as we move throughout the remainder of our allotted availability in fall camp as we get closer to LSU and Clemson. If anything breaks, we'll certainly share it with you. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. SouthPointVW.com. If you walk out in the parking lot here, you go to my parking spot and you'll see a black Volkswagen Atlas Crossport, brand new 2026. And it's funny for me sometimes when people say, man, you really do drive a Volkswagen. Yeah, I do. Because I don't feel like I can sit here every day and tell you how great Volkswagens are and the great experience I've had with South Point Volkswagen over the years if I'm not driving a Volkswagen. What do I always say? Actions speak louder than words. Watch what I do. Don't listen to what I say. Well, my wife and I both drive a Volkswagen. You go to our house, garage door goes up. She's got an Atlas. I have a Crossport. We love it. Safe, stylish, affordable, and safe. I said that first, but I said it twice because it matters. 9 different IIHS top safety picks, the highest safety designation. You're driving affordable, fun vehicles with great luxury features, with great safety features as well. It's South Point Volkswagen. Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer is South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. It's interesting that I'm kind of rolling through a lot of the comments here on the text line. And overwhelmingly, man, the feeling from so many of you is opposite Jayden Daniels. And it's such a bummer, man. And by the way, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just, I think Jayden and his mom, his team, whatever, really think they just misjudged this one entirely. How the reaction was going to be to this. And it's poorly thought out, probably bad advice, bad counsel, and it's led to a very uncomfortable situation. So hopefully they can rectify it. I would say if I'm just doing like a loose calculation from all the feedback I've gotten on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and comments and my text line, it's like 95-5. Like 95% are siding with LSU or just against Jayden handling it the way that he is. But it was interesting because I did an interview earlier today with a radio station in D.C. as they're covering the Commanders, and the justification for Jayden behaving this way was interesting until you asked the question, like, that dude's is in training camp with an NFL team. Is this what Commanders fans really want their starting quarterback occupying his headspace? Is his college jersey number? And I think, that was kind of a snap back to reality moment for some. So we'll follow it. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Kellen Moore met with reporters after the Saints joint practice today with Jacksonville. Let's hear a little bit more of what Kellen had to say. And we do need to dive into what Lane Kiffin said as well outside of practice today in the Jayden stuff. LSU is now more than a full week into fall camp. So this was a good sort of point, couple of days of full pads now for Lane Kiffin to meet with reporters. So we'll let you hear some of what Lane had to say as well. Stay with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
If you want to feel your best, our friends at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help. That sounds great, Matt. I don't have ED. Cool. Congrats. I'm pumped for you. I'm glad you don't. But if you do, they can help. But there's so much more than just ED treatments over at Goodwood. Hormone replacement therapy, peptide therapy. Huge, huge part of helping you have a holistic approach to feeling better, inside out. For example, they have growth hormone peptides. Now, keep in mind, this is not like Mark McGuire in 1998. These are strands of amino acids designed to help your body stimulate its natural growth hormone production. So you inject growth hormone peptide when you sleep, and it helps stimulate your body's natural growth hormone production. You sleep better at night, you build muscle, you burn fat. Learn more at yourgoodwood.com. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Yourgoodwood.com.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product's always customer satisfaction. Come visit us at reliefwindows.com. By the way, we do shutters too.
My name is Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years. What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
Every Raising Cane's chicken finger is marinated, battered by hand, and cooked to order to perfection. We don't have heat lamps, because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at Sunny.
Had an awesome dinner last night over at Supper Club. Went with Doug and Bryant Bocock, my buddy Matt Anderson. The four of us went. Had a couple cocktails, sat down. We did family style. So we ordered 3 different cuts of meat. They were all Sagrera cuts. We got the bone-in strip, the cowboy ribeye, and the filet. They sliced them all up family style so we could all try a little bit of everything. Matt ordered the veal parm, which I tell you about all the time. So we were able to slice that up and I'll sample it as well. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong at Supper Club regardless of whatever it is you want to eat. Listen, we were just 4 friends having a kind of a business dinner, and it was a great way to spend a Wednesday night. Maybe it's a date night. Maybe you're trying to close some business. Maybe you're celebrating an anniversary, a birthday. No matter the occasion, it's always a great reason to get by Supper Club. Book your reservation at supperclubbtr.com. Supperclubbtr.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
Thought there was some good stuff. Like anything in training camp, there's going to be some reps we're going to want back. We're going to need to correct ourselves, improve, sustaining a couple, longer drives, which was good for our guys. This is kind of their first test of, these 8-10 play drives, which is more real football. So this is their exposure to that, and that's what you're not getting in a preseason game by not playing in it. And so I thought that was really good work for our guys, and they just got to get acclimated to that setting.
Kellen Moore after practice on Thursday. Ross Jackson will be here in 40 minutes from right now. We'll ask him what he saw. I got a question on the show text line from Sean, who said, hey, Matt, should the Saints give Rattler a 2-year extension worth $4 to $8 million? He's worth every penny, if you ask me. So the easy way to answer that question is, as I look at Spencer Rattler, who signed a 4-year rookie contract worth $4.3 million, and he's now in year 3 of his rookie deal. Yeah, I mean an extension that would pay him a relatively small amount, $4 to $8 million for over a couple of years. Sure, that's a big gap, by the way. It's basically doubling the number, but the only reason I hesitate is because I look at what this preseason is going to look like, and I wonder if Spencer Rattler is going to be more valuable to another team as someone who can go compete for a starting job. So if he, let's say hypothetically, over 3 preseason games, Rattler plays exceptionally well, and you have situations around the NFL with injured quarterbacks or bad quarterback situations, and teams are looking to bring in someone to compete for maybe a starting job. Like what happens in Minnesota. I mean, Kyler Murray's there, who has now been named the starter in Minnesota. Like, what if that doesn't go well? Or what if you have an injury and a team suddenly needs a starter? Look at what happened in Indianapolis a year ago, where late in the season, they're pulling Phillip Rivers out of retirement. I mean, it's part of the NFL and injuries happen. I could look at Cincinnati a year ago when Joe Burrow got hurt. Now, I mean, Joe Flacco is there now, but I guess my point is the only hesitancy I would have to extending Rattler, and I guess there's no really downside of extending Rattler. If someone wanted him, they could trade for him, take on his contract as well. But is Rattler more valuable to the Saints as a backup, or is he more valuable as a trade piece? Like, could you acquire assets for Spencer Rattler? Now, we have seen in the past the value of a backup quarterback, namely in 2019 when Drew Brees got injured, missed 5 games, and Teddy Bridgewater went 5-0 as Brees' backup starting. So there's value in having a good backup. I mean, we could look at extreme examples. A Nick Foles winning a Super Bowl as the backup in Philadelphia in 2017. Tom Brady is Drew Bledsoe's backup. I mean, there are extreme examples, but mostly what you would want is a competent backup who can keep the train on the track. So I would look and say, are you confident Zach Wilson could be that guy? And if the answer is yes, and Rattler has more value, I would still be more interested, more inclined in trading Spencer Rattler to a team that is in need of a potential starter at quarterback that would be interested in taking a flyer on Rattler and giving you maybe like what if you could somehow recoup a day 2 draft pick? Like, you used a 5 on Rattler. What if you could get a 5? Like, what if you can get a 5th round pick back for a guy that's just going to be a backup for you? And you've got a guy that was a former number 2 overall pick sitting on your bench backing up Tyler Shuck. I guess I look at it that way. So I don't know. I don't have a hard and fast feeling on it today with Rattler. I really would like to see, how does he look in the preseason? We'll get 3 preseason games. If he looks really good, maybe his value increases tremendously, and someone's willing to give you a 3rd round pick for it. I mean, that seems ambitious, but I mean, I would do that deal. I'd rather a 3rd round pick than a guy that's going to sit on my bench. So, something to consider. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. We are brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints. When you're watching the Saints and the Jags and their joint practices, of course, you'll see that red Rouse's patch on the Saints practice jerseys. Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Making groceries, getting ready for your game watch party this weekend. Want something to throw on the grill? Get on by Rouse's, Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. And speaking of grills, Rouse's has a giveaway right now where they're giving away a grill. You want to see how you can enter? Go to Rouse's.com and you can enter to win. Can you scroll down? There, Paul, you'll see where you can enter on the website to win that grill over at Rouse's, rouses.com, rouses.com. It's on all their social media as well, rouses.com. Football season's here. Few things better than throwing some meat on the grill, cracking open an ice-cold beverage, and watching your favorite team play. Rouse's helps you make it happen. Rouses.com, rouses.com. Rouse's, this feels like home. Okay, Kellen Moore met with reporters after practice on Thursday. Coming out of the break, you heard him talk about how the offense looked. Let's play. This is number 6. This is what Kellen thinks about the team overall so far into the third week of camp, and now with his joint practice with Jacksonville.
I think it's just a good kind of transition to the next phase of training camp. Training camp early, there's an acclimation, then we compete against each other. And I thought our guys did an excellent job of competing against each other each and every day the last however many, 10 days. Then we transition to this area where we're going to play against a bunch of really good teams. Allows you kind of, hey, they haven't seen all the stuff that you're presenting or the fronts you're running or any of that sort of stuff. And so I think it's just a good refresher to kind of get another set of eyes and another set of opportunities in those same concepts.
So it's good to get a look at someone else. The thing I told you yesterday, the thing that I'm mostly looking for, don't get in fights, don't get hurt. You achieve those two ends, great. Now, Jordyn Tyson got a little dinged up today. It would look like it was a leg injury by all accounts. Haven't yet gotten a report about the severity of the injury. We'll ask Ross Jackson when he's here in 34 minutes if he's got an update on us on Jordyn Tyson's injury. But as of now, it doesn't seem like it's severe, so we'll keep you posted if we get more on that. We just got done talking about Spencer Rattler. This was Kellen Moore on Tyler Shuck and his performance here today against Jacksonville.
Yeah, for Tyler, good command. Felt like there were some real positives in there. There's going to be plenty of lessons to learn as we go through this. It's August, whatever it is, middle of August. We got a ways to go. And so there's going to be a lot of work to be done moving forward. But I thought, Tyler did some good things. So
I would love to see, I understand fully why it's not going to happen. But I would love to see Shuck get out there and give it a little bit of a go in the preseason game on Saturday. Of course, Anthony Campanile is Jacksonville's defensive coordinator, who was just hired last January, so he's going into year 2 there with the Jaguars. He was previously a linebackers coach with Green Bay before he joined up in Jacksonville. But sometimes it's beneficial to watch your guys get those reps. And I think the thing where I sort of separate with Shuck is I got to remind myself that as optimistic as you and I are about Tyler Shuck, and I think we probably all are. Is that fair? And maybe it's blind optimism, maybe it's foolish, but I'm looking at the 9-game sample at the end of last year and the way Shuck played, and they went 5-4, and I get it. It was against the Jets and the Dolphins in the bottom of the league, the armpit of the league. But he played well. He's got some it factor. They went and did the thing out in San Diego. Drew Brees raved about him. It's like I'm optimistic about Shuck. But he's still only 9 games into his career, like as a starter. And so, whereas if you're 9 years into your career, you don't need preseason. I don't care at all what preseason would show you. I just need you healthy for week 1. I feel like I still want to see more from Tyler Shuck. So every time he has an opportunity to go get reps, I kind of want to see him go get those reps against another defense. So maybe that's what the purpose of the joint practices today serves for Tyler Shuck. And the next 2 weeks, remember the Saints will have joint practices for each of their 3 preseason opponents. But I kind of would like to see Shuck at least get out there and spin it a little bit against an opponent in a game-like setting in the Dome on Saturday. But certainly doesn't look like we're going to get that opportunity as it'll be Spencer Rattler starting in the Dome Saturday against Jacksonville. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us. Thursday shows, remember, you can always go check out LouisianaSports.net. Everything's free over at LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits, nothing like that. Just go read it for free. Of course, big story today was our report about Jayden Daniels and his camp requesting that they give back that LSU give back the Heisman Trophy. That's up at LouisianaSports.net if you want to go read it. Ross has a report on Jordyn Tyson's injury. Otter locks are posted right now at LouisianaSports.net, so you can always go get it for free there at LouisianaSports.net. Bookmark it and come back every single day. We appreciate you for checking out the website. It's been great growth as we're 2 years into LSN, LouisianaSports.net, and we appreciate y'all for hanging out with us over there every day. Okay, let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, again, Ross Jackson in 30 minutes. Lane Kiffin met with reporters after practice here on Thursday. And aside from, if we put the Jayden Daniels, DJ Pickett talk to the side, as LSU's now a full week into fall camp, 2 days into full pads, where does Lane Kiffin feel his team is now full week into fall camp? You'll hear from Kiffin when we come back on AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You know what to do. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Very excited because the billboard design competition from Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is back. It launches on Monday. So start getting your creative juices flowing. This Monday, August 17th, the GetGordon.com billboard competition launches again. There's an adult category and a kids category, so adult designs and kid designs are welcome. Prizes are up to $2,000. You can submit as many designs as you want. If you want to learn more, go to getgordon.com/billboards, getgordon.com/billboards. And, of course, your design, if you win, could be seen on a billboard around town. GetGordon.com/billboards. Win up to $2,000 in prizes. GetGordon.com/billboards.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
Are you ready for an internet experience that actually keeps up with you? Then you're ready to step into a new kind of reliability with Rev Fiber. When your internet works, the possibilities open up, and suddenly everything feels more connected, just the way it should be. Seamless enough to keep up with every swipe and every click, anywhere you are. So leave the buffering.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
It's been a really competitive group. They've really worked hard and done a great job. You know, Eugene Wilson's had a great camp and really stuck out. Winnie was doing great before. So a lot of them are. And I'm excited about the unit. I'm excited about, as we get to Saturday scrimmages, seeing them play. And the quarterbacks have progressed. The passing game in general looks way better than it did in the spring, which is obviously exciting.
Lane Kiffin, after practice on Thursday, the dismount there was, when he was talking about competition at receiver, was the nature of what he was talking about. But he said the passing game looks way better than it did in the spring. That's encouraging for two reasons. The most obvious is because Sam Levitt's back. And if Sam Levitt was back and the passing game didn't look better, that would suck, flatly. There's a reason you paid that guy $4-5 million, whatever they paid him. You need him to make the offense go. This isn't like it's this wild idea, this unique thought that I had. I think we all share it. Sam Levitt has to be really good for LSU to be really good this year. So the fact that Lane is pleased is good. The other reason I thought that was interesting is one of the things he was really candid about in the spring was his honesty when the offense didn't look good. There was a scrimmage, you might remember, when LSU it was a scrimmage in Tiger Stadium, and they had 10 offensive possessions. And over the course of those 10 possessions, the quarterbacks combined for 5 interceptions. They lost a fumble and missed a field goal. It was awful. And I still remember the cut from Lane. He said that was really discouraging. And there were times in spring when he caught himself and he said, I got to remind myself, it was going to be like this because they weren't going to have Sam Levitt in spring. So they knew it was going to be like this, but he still had to he said, Charlie Weiss, that reminded me, we knew it was going to be like this without Sam in spring. So they had to maybe recalibrate offensive expectations. And so because he was willing to give us that candor in spring, for him to say he really likes where the offense is right now, I think is encouraging. Remember, we talked previously about those SP Plus rankings, the final preseason SP Plus rankings. And the LSU offense is 21st. The defense is 3rd in the country. LSU's offense is 21st. Candidly, I'm doing this on the fly because I hadn't given this thought until it just entered my head. What would you think? Which side of the ball do you think will finish ranked higher by the end of the season, offense or defense? I get the idea about defense, and Lane even said in the spring, if we played like that, we would have to be a defensive team. And so I think there's a chance they could be that. Remember, the Ole Miss team in 24 finished 3rd in the country, I believe, in total defense. That team with Walter Nolan and Princely Umanmielen, Prince Will's brother, Princely Umanmielen and Pooh Paul and Trey Amos and all those guys. So, he has shown the ability to run a team and operate a team that will lean heavily on their defense. But I think with all the talent on offense, what's going to happen is LSU is going to go fast, score a lot, and as a result, the defense is going to be on the field more. And so you may see the defensive rating and ranking and numbers maybe not look as sterling as they might otherwise. I think 2019 LSU. That 2019 LSU defense, I think, was 59th nationally. Well, they scored 60 a game. Scored 60 points a game, whatever it was. It wasn't 60, it was 48 or whatever it was. But the point is, when you score 50 a game and you're going fast and scoring a bunch, your defense is on the field a lot. And so that defense gave up a lot of yards and points because they were just on the field so much more. When you think back to the Les Miles era, everything was take the air out of the ball, shorten the game, run clock, slow it down, long drive possessions. Your defense wasn't on the field as much. So even defenses that weren't awesome statistically look better than maybe they were because they weren't on the field as much. So I think you might, kind of feels like we would see that number invert, that the offense would end the season ranked higher than the defense. But if they need to be a defensive team, clearly they feel like they can be. But it's encouraging to hear Lane happy with the offense a week into fall camp. Now, a couple of other things Lane talked about, and specifically this is huge for the offense to get going. It's the offensive line. And for me, as I look at the roster, we're going to play 7. As I look at the roster, the position battles that are open, there's Bo Bordelon, I think, clearly has solidified the left guard spot. Everything we see out there's just no more rotation. Now, we're not watching team drills, but every time we go out there and watch individuals, Bo Bordelon is running at left guard, and everyone has said it. So right tackle is the spot. Right? Weston Davis, Devin Harper. Do we see Sean Tompkins, the Baylor transfer, get in the mix? William Satterwhite, the Tennessee transfer, took some reps over there on Saturday. So that, at least at this moment, feels like it's still up for grabs. And Lane was asked about the competition on the offensive line.
Well, it's always open. Not going to get into too much detail on that. But they're doing well. We have a ton of new guys. I think we've added, decent depth so far. And so it's been really good competition, and they perform well. The coaches have done a great job with them. And I'm really pleased where they are, especially in the run game. And the thing that was so interesting, hat tip to Buddy Sanji, a veteran radio guy who in the Lane's had a little good rapport in the back and forth with Buddy in these press conferences, because Buddy's questions can be long-winded, and he throws out interesting stats and factoids. And one of the things Buddy threw at Lane the other day was that his, over the 6 years in Ole Miss, his team were the leading rusher in the SEC over 6 years. And so Buddy asked Lane a question today, and he said, you always give him those stats. He said they even fact-checked him from that stat the other day. But it's true, though, that they do rely so heavily on running the football, and very obviously for LSU, the problem the last 2 years has been they've been last and second to last in the SEC in rushing offense. So they got to get the rushing offense going. A big part of that, yes, running backs, but you need your offensive line to be better, and clearly they are. And Jordyn Seaton was a guy that Kiffin talked about here on Thursday. His play has been his leadership by example, the way that he works, the way he's up here extra watching things, and the way he's taken on younger guys and helped them. It's been phenomenal, and I think it's a really good example that I always try to do is not judge people by what's out there, and what's said out there about him, because he's been perfect from a attention to detail playing-wise, and then a teammate. He's been a phenomenal teammate, one that these guys rave about on both sides of the ball.
Jordyn Seaton did meet with reporters earlier today out at LSU as well. We'll let you hear some of what he had to say, but I will. The biggest compliment I think that I can pay Jordyn Seaton at this point is this is a guy who got broke off. He left Colorado, went in the portal. LSU paid him $4 million. Got broke off. And the question that every NFL team wants to know is, will money change a guy? They want to learn a guy's character. And when you look at Jordyn Seaton, he went through a wild recruitment. Remember, it was quick, but it was wild. Flew in here, was at the governor's mansion. His one-day visit became like a 2.5-day visit. He ended up not going to take the visit to Oregon. He flew home to Atlanta. Lane followed him on a late-night flight. They get him. But you wonder, is that going to change him? Is the money going to change him? Well, the opposite has happened. Like, he's gotten his body right. He's been a great leader. He says and does all the right things. He's been everything they wanted him to be. And I think it's a real testament not only to Seaton, but also it's validation for Kiffin and his staff, his front office, for how they identify players and people that they want in their program. So, one of the things Lane was asked the other day was about, it just dawned on me when we were talking about Seaton. He talked about how they've had a relatively quiet offseason. You haven't had off-the-field issues. And I think part of that is identifying good people. Like, not just recruiting talented football players, but talented football players who are also good people who fit your culture. And it appears that they've done that really well. They seem to have hit there with Jordyn Seaton as well. All right, it's after further review. We'll do Tigers and the Pros here in just a smidge. We're brought to you by Hancock Whitney Bank. HancockWhitney.com/Matt. That's right. It's my bank. And now I have my own website. That's pretty cool, though, actually, when I think about it. They gave me my own custom URL. HancockWhitney.com/Matt. HancockWhitney.com/Matt is where you can go to learn more. And remember, if you open a checking account at Hancock Whitney, you can get $600 after opening a freestyle checking and freestyle savings account meeting the minimum requirements. So go to HancockWhitney.com/Matt to get started. Remember, minimum deposit, account opening balance, and other requirements apply. Learn more at HancockWhitney.com. member FDIC. HancockWhitney.com/Matt, and you get your custom Saints or LSU debit card, the purple LSU debit card, the black or gold Saints debit card. Be a card-carrying member of the Who Dat Nation or of Tiger Nation. Remember, it's HancockWhitney.com/Matt. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Been a really good show, man. Jam-packed, chock-full, tons of good stuff. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition of AFR. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf. We did open the show. I just emptied the bag with all my notes on the Jayden Daniels saga thing. I told you everything I know up until this point. As it develops more, we'll advance the story. We'll do it over at LouisianaSports.net. But if you missed all my conversation, all of our info, sort of just emptying the bag on the Jayden Daniels jersey number thing, you can get that all on demand. Podcast, YouTube. Just search AFR, and you'll get it right there. Okay, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out our final break here of hour number 2. We'll come back with you Tigers and the Pros. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Y'all, deer season is just about here, and the surest fire way to know that deer season is just about here is because when you walk into Clegg's Nursery, they now have buck busters and mow bucks. That's right. If you want to get out there and set those plots, if you're ready to start preparing, our friends at Clegg's Nursery can help you do it. Start prepping for the upcoming season. They got Buck Busters Premium Seed Mix and the Fall Seed Mix, and now they also have mow bucks in as well. Deer corn, not far down the road, they'll have it as well. So pop into any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations and start planning to bag that trophy buck. Clegg's Nursery can help you do it with Buck Busters and mow bucks. Any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. You can always follow Clegg's on social media as well. Go follow their Facebook page, and you'll always see when they get new products in. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
People ask why I chose to partner with Parrish. The answer is simple: trust. Whether you're choosing teammates, business partners, or the people working on your home or business, choose a company you know and trust. Visit parrishbuilt.com.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of...
We're brought to you by River Parish Contractors, rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com. And I'm so fired up. I was talking to my buddy Ronnie over at River Parish Contractors. As a matter of fact, he just sent me a picture. He's on his tractor right now listening, streaming AFR. But it was a record-setting Q1 this year for River Parish Contractors, but not to be outdone, it was a record-setting Q2 for River Parish Contractors as well, and we're steamrolling toward a record-setting Q3 over at River Parish Contractors. Love telling you about my friends at River Parish Contractors because they're awesome people, and they do great work. If you're in need of an industrial contractor and you want the best, you want River Parish Contractors. If you're looking for work, River Parish Contractors is hiring iron workers, pipe fitters, crane operators for Job and Geismar, and I say it all the time. East Bank or West Bank, they have work on both sides of the river, and you will be home every night. rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Ross Jackson will be along in about a dozen minutes from right now. We'll get our customary Saints camp report. We got preseason football tonight as well. Fired up for that. Otter Locks is coming along next hour. So we just got a ton to do, and glad you're hanging out with us here right now. Braxton, his maiden voyage. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, so Alex Bregman had a career night last night. He went 3 of 3. 3 home runs.
Turn the bed down a little bit. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
There it is.
My bad.
There we go. Now we got you. There it is.
Now you got me. All right, so Alex Bregman had a career night last night. He went 3 of 3 with 3 home runs, 7 RBIs.
Wow.
First of his career, 3 home runs in one game. Looking so hot that he had 4 home runs, 9 RBIs the past 2. He's looking like he's never been before. But the Cubs get the win over the Nationals, 12-6. Hunter.
How did Dylan Cruz do in that game?
He went 1 of 3. 1 of 3, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout.
It's 333.
Hunter Feducia.
That's our guy.
Went 1 of 3 from the plate with 1 home run, 1 RBI, and 1 run.
Who does
Dodgers get the win over the Royals.
Gotta say who he plays for.
Over the Dodgers. Hunter Feducia for the Dodgers. Sorry.
God, there it is.
Yes. Get the win over the Royals, 4-2. Tommy White goes 1 of 4 with the Oakland. Almost at Oakland. Sorry.
You did say Oakland.
Oh my gosh, where they at? San Francisco.
Nope,
No?
not San Francisco.
Athletics.
They are just the Athletics now, actually. So they're playing their home games in Sacramento.
Okay.
Until their stadium in Vegas is ready, but they're just going by the Athletics.
Okay,
now.
so I got an excuse of why I forgot.
Yeah, just say the A's or the Athletics. That's
The A's, he 1 of 4 from the plate. Currently has a 244 batting average, so it's a little expected as he just started. So hopefully he bumps it up as he moves on. The Rays get the win over the Athletics, 8-4. Anissa Morrow, WNBA. Anissa Morrow and the Kinetic Sun host Andrew Reese in the Atlanta Dream tonight. Tip off at 6.
Did you say the Kinetic Sun?
Yeah, Connecticut Sun.
Oh, Connecticut.
What did I say? Kinetic?
Let's say kinetic, like kinetic energy.
I probably did.
I'm not a science guy. You know what kinetic means? What does that mean? Are you a science guy?
I've heard of kinetic sand, but no,
Yeah,
I'm not.
You don't know what that is? Yeah. Paulie, you're smart. Do you know what that is? Kinetic?
I do not know.
Oh, you're not that smart, actually. Like static and kinetic? Is that right?
Energy? Is it like energy? Might be.
I'm sitting here asking a question. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm not actually a smart person. I sound smart because I know the English language. I do English and reading comprehension. Math and science, I am an idiot.
Math was my strong subject. Yep.
I would have cheated off of you. Might have gotten into a better school. I shouldn't say that. I loved LSU. It was great. LSU was great for me. I loved it.
I wouldn't
just was not good at math.
So that was it for Tigers in the Pros.
Okay, brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020. 924-2020. 924-2020. You want to see 2020? Call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. Schedule that consultation with Dr. Blake Williamson. Hey, remember, as we move toward the end of the year, it's weird to think that, right? But we're already in the 8th month of the year. Before the year is over, maybe you have HSA or FSA funds. You want to use that for your refractive procedure. You can, and maybe you're sitting there thinking, Matt, that sounds all great, but I'm not a candidate for LASIK. Okay, well, I was told I wasn't a candidate for LASIK for years. Turns out I was a perfect candidate for LASIK. It just took an ophthalmologist and Dr. Blake Williamson to examine me to determine I was a great candidate for LASIK. But maybe you aren't. Well, that's okay. They have Evo ICL, which is a implantable contact lens. That's an alternative to LASIK. There's PRK. There's custom lens replacement. There's so many different procedures that could help you wake up in the morning and just see. Do away with the readers forever, contacts and glasses. Just wake up in the morning and see. Dr. Blake Williamson makes that dream a reality for people every single day. It's the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Remember, you can always email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400 if you want to get involved. Feel free to do it. When we come back after the top of the hour, we'll get you caught up on national headlines. Ross Jackson will be here, give us a Saints camp report from today's joint practice with the Saints and the Jacksonville Jaguars. We will let you hear a little more from Lane Kiffin next hour. And we'll start to preview a little Thursday night preseason football. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks. My goodness, I'm so fired up. Football tonight. What are you talking about? Seahawks, Patriots. Let's go.
AFR.
Never mind. It's Packers and Steelers. It's Packers and Steelers tonight. Seahawks, Patriots. That's a replay of the Super Bowl. That's not tonight. The replay's tonight. The Super Bowl is not tonight. Tonight is the Packers, Steelers, Cowboys, Raiders, Titans, Niners. I'm so fired up for this. You know what else I'm fired up for? Parrish Construction and Roofing. Because tomorrow when Terrio's here, we get to announce our fortified roof giveaway winner for Baton Rouge. Remember, we ran this promotion for about a month, and we're ready to announce our fortified roof giveaway winner for Baton Rouge. I think next week we'll get to announce our New Orleans winner. We love being able to bless people, man. We've given away $50,000 cash across our cash giveaways, and now we get to give away 2 free fortified roofs in partnership with our partner, Drew Brees, Pro Football Hall of Famer Drew Brees. ParrishBuilt.com. Repairs, replacements, commercial, residential, gutter, soft wash. ParrishBuilt.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
The Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office protects and serves over 132,000 residents across the parish.
Keeping our community safe is our mission, and Rev Fiber plays a critical role in how we respond. Whether it's training in our special divisions, forensics investigations, or fielding emergency calls in our operations center, Rev Business connects our teams in real time, which is why we partner with Rev Business.
Get 6 months free of Rev Business services. Call or click today.
Christine Lisi. A couple of months after being the top overall pick in the NFL draft, Fernando Mendoza will be making his preseason debut tonight. The Raiders' plan for their rookie QB is plenty of snaps against the Cardinals. Could get some with members of the first-team offensive line. He's practiced mostly with the second-teamers after Kirk Cousins was named the starter. Arizona rookie quarterback Carson Beck, rib injury, won't play. The injury not considered serious. Bengals QB Joe Burrow and Cincinnati's other stars will play at least a few snaps versus the Lions tonight. ESPN NFL reporter Jeremy Fowler.
They're trying to get in and out, just get like a dress rehearsal, and you won't see Joe Burrow on the field very long, but the Bengals liked how they did last year. Zach Taylor put him out there early in the preseason to get a dress run. It went well. Everybody was healthy. They got some good work in, made sure they were ready for week 1. So they're going to replicate that plan. And also, Joe Burrow's missed significant time in the last 3 to 4 years. So he wants to be out there with his guys, make sure that offense is crisp.
Bills coach Joe Brady plans on everybody that's healthy playing Saturday against Carolina, including quarterback Josh Allen, in the first game ever played at the team's new stadium.
If you run a small business, you've got to try Gusto. Get unlimited payroll runs and get your payroll taxes filed automatically. Offer health insurance, 401k, and more. Get started for free at gusto.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will.
Hey, bud.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Braxton Rarudo.
Draw. There goes Braxton.
Those are Z's. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. They look like R's to me. No, keep it up. Keep it loud. Keep it up. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. Why so abrupt? Why so abrupt? Let that thing go. The dulcet tones of Mr. Toby Tomplay. Let it breathe, Braxton. You never DJ'd, did you? You're never on the 1s and 2s at the club.
Nope.
That's obvious. It's very apparent. It's all good. You guys gotta let it breathe.
Gotta feel it. Feel it out.
It's a feel, man. Mm-hmm. And Ross Jackson. Do you have Ross's pivot drop? Nope. Pivot! I had to do it for you, Ross. Braxton didn't have the drop. How are you, dude?
I'm doing good. Just a heads up. I'm hearing a bunch of other sound all through here, but there we go. I'm good now.
Okay.
I'm great. I'm glad to be here with you. Thanks for having me. I don't know what was going on there.
Neither do I. I'm sitting over here, and Braxton's over there, sitting at the mothership, right there at the board, like a space shuttle with all those buttons. You never know which one you press might cause something to go haywire. Okay. Jordan Tyson. I don't like this man. Wait, let me. So, punctuation is important. Not, I don't like this man. I don't like this, man, period.
Yeah.
The whole thing about him was injuries, and now he's hurt. So, what's the deets?
Yeah, it's a little challenging. What we know so far is lower body injury. Kellen Moore did mention leg as a part of it. So, obviously, a lot of context there is going to leap towards the idea of the hamstring injury, which he had been dealing with coming into the season. We don't know that for sure, but, you can put 2 and 2 together in terms of an expectation, at least. Kellen Moore didn't have information at the time. There have been some reports, Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football, mentioning that he has heard that it's minor and, but less than ideal. But, none of this, we don't really know until we get the official word from the team. And so Kellen Moore said that he'll have an update for us tomorrow. For what it's worth, Jordyn Tyson was able to get up and kind of jog off the field. And I think at this point, it's just worth it to be cautious around this situation and make sure that it's not something that can compound. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him for a little while, one way or another. because the Saints should play this cautious, just like they did with Kool-Aid McKinstry earlier, like they were presumed to be doing with Devon Godshaw right now. And so I think that's the way that this is going to go. But obviously, not an ideal situation for the young rookie who's been impressing here throughout training camp.
Okay. Who benefits from his absence in the interim?
I'd probably say Bryce Lance. Bryce Lance is a fourth-round pick coming out of North Dakota State University. He's now going to get a lot more exposure. I don't think we were expecting to see Jordyn Tyson during Saturday's preseason game, but certainly if that was going to be the case, that will no longer be the case, and that's going to open up opportunities for guys like Bryce Lance, as well as Barryon Brown. And then I'd also put another guy in there in that conversation too, and Kevin Austin Jr., who seems to be kind of that next person behind the top 5 that we expect to make the roster. And so it could mean more opportunities for him come the preseason as well. So I think those are the guys that are set to be the beneficiaries there.
All right, let's talk about the one other sort of newsy item from today, which is that Spencer Rattler will start the preseason opener. Is it, I guess we can take this one of two ways, Ross, but is it more notable that Shuck isn't going to play, or that Rattler is starting over? What is that beep? Sorry, I got so distracted. Is there a truck? Is there a truck backing up by you?
There's a truck very far away from me. I'm shocked you can hear that. I can barely hear it.
Wow, that's wild. Okay, I'll focus. Or Rattler starting over the other guy that was a former number 2 pick that I can't think of because the truck beeping.
Yeah, Zach Wilson. I think probably more notable that Spencer Rattler starting over Zach Wilson. Look, Kellen Moore said a few days ago that especially with all these joint practices, that we shouldn't be expecting to see starters see much action in his first preseason game. And Tyler Shuck, of course, is the starting quarterback. And so not super shocking to see him not be involved, especially after the team ran 90 plays up against the Jacksonville Jaguars today, of which the majority were first team reps. And so I think that the more notable part is that the fact that the Saints are kind of leaning in towards Spencer Rattler here, it shows that there is a real consideration that he is the top quarterback behind Tyler Shuck, despite all of Zach Wilson's NFL experience. That's certainly been the rhythm here so far throughout training camp. Spencer Rattler has never surrendered the second team offense at all. And, Zach Wilson took maybe a couple of snaps with what was a little bit of a blend of second and third team. But I think the thing that's most notable here is that Spencer Rattler's performance has been so convincing, and this kind of confirms that moving forward.
Did you go inside to get away from the beep?
I did. I did that for you.
My guy. What a pro. I heard the door close. It sounded like there was maybe like a shade on the door that went like whenever you close
it. We have like a little face scanner that we have to like look up at it and wait for it to unlock the door.
See?
And so you can hear like a little click, click, and then I walk through the door. That way I got away from the beep, beep. I made other noises, but at least it's not beep, beep.
It's not beep, beep. So now I can remember Spencer Rattler and the other guy who was drafted second overall that stunk with the Jets. Ross Jackson at Ross Jackson, NOLA, LouisianaSports.net, and Locked On Saints. Okay, how did the practice go today against Jacksonville?
Yeah, I think we saw strong things from both sides, the offense and the defense. I think that this was a really important performance for the offense, though. We've been having the conversation all throughout training camp so far about whether or not the defense has been just kind of running these days or whether the offense has been struggling. And I think that what we saw with Tyler Shuck going, I had him 25 of 34 with 4 and then a 5th touchdown that, you ask any Saints offensive player, they're going to tell you that it was a touchdown despite it being signaled incomplete by the officials. But just a really good day for him, and one where he was attacking downfield too. Like those completions weren't necessarily completions that are just 5 yards down the field or dump offs and things like that. It was work. And so I think that this was a really good performance by this New Orleans Saints offense that was trying to maybe they weren't trying to answer the question, but certainly we're in position to answer the question. And I think that they absolutely did that here up against Jacksonville's defense. Still a little bit too much pressure getting into the backfield, especially considering the amount of sacks that Tyler Shuck took in his 9 starts at the end of the season. But outside of that, really good performance by the offense. And then defensively, just outstanding stuff from Chase Young in particular, who estimated himself to have half a dozen sacks on the day. As I went back through and I looked at my
That's
notes.
a record.
Yeah, if I went back and I looked through my notes, and I don't know that I dispute it. I mean, I had 4 that were for sure, and then 2 that were easily arguable. And so he could absolutely make his case for having a half a dozen sacks on the day. And so I think that he was outstanding all throughout. And then Julian Blackmon helped to set the tone early on, too, with an interception on the second play of the day. So really good performances from both sides of the ball. Still some things to work on. Red zone defense was a little shaky, but overall positive day.
You can get Ross's full write-up over at LouisianaSports.net. It's always free, LouisianaSports.net. I noticed you also highlighted Nathan Shepard, and I guess I'm guilty of this as anyone, Ross. Whenever we go through these reports, I tend to ask about, we talk about injuries, and I ask about the headliners, a guy like we just talked about with Chase Young. Are there other players on that defensive line that seem to be solidifying roles or making an impact?
Yeah, I would absolutely highlight Nathan Shepard as one of those guys. That's the right name to pull. From the moment that Brian Brzee went down for the season after that first practice, there were a lot of questions about whether or not Kristen Miller was going to be the guy to step up. But Kristen Miller has been a little bit more of like a one-tech nose tackle, while although he does move around the defensive line, don't get me wrong, but that's been sort of his kind of bread and butter. Brian Brzee is a little bit more of a 3-4 defensive end, lining up over or around the tackles as opposed to closer to the center and guard. And so that always felt like that was going to be Nathan Shepard's role. And he's stepped into that along with a few other guys. And Shepard has just been really outstanding and consistent here all throughout camp. He had kind of this showing up party last year during the Jets game that was, of course, his former team, and really has just kept that consistency here throughout training camp. Carl Granderson's another guy that's been on a surge here recently. He's the guy that's in search of consistency. We've written some stories over at LouisianaSports.net about his season so far and how excellent he's been throughout his career in September and then December, January, but then the question marks around the October and November performance. And so that's something he has identified in his own game as a need for consistency. And we're certainly seeing consistency from him out here, whether he's dropping back into coverage, rushing from the interior as a 3-4 D end, like what we were just describing with Brian Brzee and Nathan Shepard, or of course his calling card, rushing off the edge. He's been really outstanding here as well. And then we've seen a couple of other guys that have popped, Vernon Broughton, Kristen Miller, and others on the interior. But that unit has been one that has both been plagued with injury, but also has a lot of young talent that's brimming and ready for opportunity.
He's Ross Jackson, Ross Jackson Nola, LouisianaSports.net. It's where you can read him. You can listen or watch Locked on Saints. Hey, before you go, we know they're going to play on Saturday. Tomorrow, walk through, what are they going to, just a light day, walk through anything that's notable?
Yeah, kind of a light day walkthrough in the Caesar Superdome. So that'll be a nice opportunity for some of the young guys that maybe haven't gotten the opportunity to be exposed to that yet, but they'll just get acquainted with what that is, learn where the locker room is, all these other things that they haven't seen it before, and then kind of walk through a little bit of what it is that they're planning to achieve throughout the day. And so I think that it'll give us a little bit of a glimpse as to who plays, who doesn't play. I think that'll be good. And then the other big thing that you're waiting for is that update from Kellen Moore on Jordyn Tyson. But I think those are going to be the biggest things we'll walk away with tomorrow.
He is Ross Jackson. Thanks as always, man.
Thank you, bud. Take care. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.
All right. It is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens. Go to parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Fill out the form. They'll give you a free quote. It's super easy. Patented non-toxic dry fog. Think about what I just said. Patented. Nobody else can do it. Non-toxic, meaning it's safe for your family, plants, pets, and a dry fog, meaning it's the opposite of wet. So you don't have to worry about like pulling up carpet, cutting sheetrock, covering your furniture. It's going to get into every nook. It's a fog. It'll get into every nook and cranny, and it'll kill everything down to the spores. As soon as the fog dissipates, boom, you're back in free, clear, clean, sanitized, mold-free. Parishrestoration.com. All right, it's After Further Review. Jimmy will be here in 30 minutes for Auto Locks. If you want to get Auto Locks now, you can do so online at LouisianaSports.net. Auto Locks are there, and they are free. Lane Kiffin met with reporters. He was asked about Winnie Watkins, who was absent for the third consecutive day. He gave a customary non-answer answer. But I asked Lane Kiffin today about, with the 5-for-5 ruling and the class of 2022, in theory, gaining eligibility, but Greg Sankey, and Kiffin talked about this 2 days ago, but in theory, with Greg Sankey, a day ago, updating the SEC's stance, and we could very well, within a week to 10 days, maybe have a final ruling here on the class of 2022 and their eligibility. How is Lane Kiffin and his staff going about trying to put a list together when they don't even know what players might be eligible? So I asked him that question, and you'll hear his answer next on AFR.
After further review.
If you're thinking of selling your home, call Darren James. Get your home sold. 335-7666. 335-7666. That's Darren's cell. Call him or text him right now. 335-7666. Or go to agent225.com. Agent225.com. Remember, working with Darren James obligates you to nothing. If at any point you're not thrilled, he'll let you out of the contract free and clear, no questions asked. So you don't have to worry about getting stuck in a contract. But in his entire career in real estate, no one, not one customer ever, has taken him up on that offer because Darren goes above and beyond for all of his clients. You will understand it the minute you call Darren James. 335-7666. 335-7666. And Darren gets results. Wall Street Journal's listed the top 1% of realtors in America. He's number 13 in the country. It's unbelievable. You need to sell your home, you need Darren James. Agent225.com. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product's always customer satisfaction. Come visit us at reliefwindows.com. By the way, we do shutters too.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Every Raising Cane's chicken finger is marinated.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
All right, rolling along here, 5 o'clock hour. on a Thursday edition of AFR. Lane Kiffin met with reporters earlier today. And it's interesting because when Lane met with reporters on Monday, he was asked the whole 5 for 5 question. And if you're not familiar, I'll make this really, really, really simple. So high school football players from the class of 2022 who would have just finished their senior year, right? Fourth-year guys that played as freshmen that are out of eligibility. Think Harold Perkins. The new ruling, 5 for 5, means those guys would have another year of eligibility. Now, the NCAA said, no, that starts next year. Well, a judge in Colorado said, no, we're going to make it retroactive. So there's this question of who's going to win. Is it the judge who made that ruling, or is it the NCAA? Now, the injunction is still good. So you're seeing players like there was 2 starters from Arizona who rejoined Arizona, kid from Mississippi State, 2 starters from Indiana going back to Bloomington now. So as long as you didn't sign a professional contract, you can play, is what this judge said. So Lane Kiffin was asked about that on Monday, and he gave a long answer about it. Really, he said, we prepare for everything, but he gave a long answer about how those players should be able to play anywhere. Because the original ruling from the judge was that they can come back in, but there's no portal. They can come back, but they can only go back to the place where they were. That's why a lot of you have asked about guys like Bernard Gooden and Jack Pyburn and so on. But remember, Gooden was a class of 2021, so he doesn't apply. So Greg Sankey, a day ago, put out a statement effectively saying, we'll see where the court ruling goes, but we're still abiding by SEC rules and eligibility requirements and all that sort of stuff. So I asked the follow-up to Lane today so as to say, okay, there are literally thousands of college football players from the class of 2022. And now some of them are already in the NFL. Like, I'm looking at the class of 2022 right here, for example. Here you go. Walter Nolan, Travis Hunter was class of 2022, Luther Burden. Like, obviously these guys are not coming back to college football. They're in the NFL. Sonny Styles was just a first-round pick. Michael Williams from Georgia. Harold Perkins was the 9th overall player in the country in 2022. Malachi Starks, who was an All-American. LT Overton. I mean, you just scroll down and you get it. Like, so some of those guys are obviously not coming back to college football. But Kelvin Banks. But what if there are players? But like, how many players from the class of 2022 are played 4 years, but didn't sign a pro contract? I mean, is it hundreds? Is it dozens? Is it thousands? I don't know. But it would feel like it's an exorbitant amount of work to comb through the entire class of 2022 to find guys who have the extra year of eligibility that didn't sign a pro contract. So I asked Lane, like, how are y'all even going about scouting for the possibility of this when you don't even know who's eligible? This is what he said.
System right now of how that is. So we just try to prepare, and if it's ruled that way and these guys can play and they can go everywhere, which I would think you have to, if someone's going to rule them that they're eligible to play and they get the year back to 2022s. In fairness to them, how could you possibly limit them? How can you make them go back to a place that they may not know coaches? The place may not want them. They may have moved on with numbers. And so to make them go back to one specific place or even not be able to move within a conference, that can't be fair, and certainly doesn't seem to be legal to be able to do to the kids, especially at a last minute like this. Where are they going to go? They got to go to one place and that place doesn't want them or doesn't even know them in some circumstances.
So I did ask an off-mic follow-up where I said, so are you literally looking at every single class of 2022 kid? Which I just pulled up Rivals. Rivals had a ranking for 2,120 players in the class of 2022. And Lane said, we prepare for everything. Which kind of tells me he's got some lackey up in that building who's looking up every one of those 2,120 players from the class of 2022 going, who's in the NFL, who played 4 years, who still has an extra year, and who might be eligible to come back. And they have a master list of who those guys might be, and they're ready to go call on them. Now, the thing that I think is pretty obvious is you're not looking for someone at every position. Like, you're probably not looking for a quarterback. You're probably not looking for a receiver. I think it's pretty obvious what you're looking for. It's the positions that you were looking for in JUCO after spring, and that's cornerback and that's edge. You lost Gabe Relaford, you lost Aiden Anding. Those are two spots where you're thin. And coming into this into fall camp now with a guy like Damian Shanklin not practicing with the team, so not only are you down Gabe Relaford, you're also down Damian Shanklin. So you like your first two guys at edge with Jordan Ross and Prince Willie Monmielen, but your next two are Dylan Carpenter, who's a fourth-year guy who hadn't played, and a true freshman in Lamar Brown. Now, he's the number one player in the country, and we're really excited about him, but Jordan Ross was a top 10 player in the country and didn't make an impact in 2 years at Tennessee. So that's very clearly one spot where if you could add a veteran guy at edge, you'd be looking to do it, and corner is the other. Now, those are two positions that Lane did talk about today. Play number 4, please. This was Lane talking about Prince Willie Monmielen and Jordan Ross and the job they've done so far on the defensive line.
Yeah, Prince had a great day today. In the team periods, there were a number of plays disrupted by him in rush where series ended because of him, and that's extremely important. That's why, there's a reason if you study how people are paid in the NFL and drafted in the NFL, there's a reason for it. They figure out the rush in causes so much havoc, and a lot of times ends games. As much as anybody on defense, and arguably as much as anybody in the game outside of the quarterback. So it's really important, and a little more important in that level, but it's still extremely critical. And when we've been best, we've had really good defensive lines over time, and it's usually the case unless you're just going to outscore people, because the variables, aren't as big once you have really good defensive line, because you can take some things out. Your quarterback maybe not playing well, maybe he's hurt. You're on the road and it's really loud. Defensive line and neutralizing the game and stopping the run really takes those things so they're not as big a factor in the outcome of the game.
Lane tells you the answer to the test if you're listening. It's one of the things I've learned about him. If you're listening, he tells you the answer to the test. We spent a lot of time in the spring talking about this, because when they were building the roster through the transfer portal and then going into spring, one of the things that I was told about this sort of manifesto that Lane and Billy Glasscock have is they put a valuation, not only every player, but position groups. Like, how do they rank the position groups and then assign a cap value to that position group? You'll put X percent of your cap to quarterback and X percent of your cap to offensive line and X percent of your cap to edge rusher and so on, and how do you prioritize those? Well, this staff prioritizes edge rushers and defensive line over cornerback. It's not to say corner's not important, but you just heard what he said. Edge rushers can sometimes end the game. So it's more important to pressure and affect the quarterback, move him off his spot in college, because they're less likely to make an accurate throw on the move and in the face of pressure in college than they are in the NFL. So they'll spend more money on the edge rusher, Prince Willie Monmielen, Jordan Ross, Lamar Brown, than they will on the corner. Yes, they retained Pickett and Woodland, two very good players, but they didn't go add anybody at corner in the transfer portal. Nobody. They're like, we'll let Aiden Anding and Michael Turner grow and develop. And you got Haven Finney coming in, who's I think Haven Finney is going to be an outstanding player. Like, I understand why we're not talking a lot about him. He's a reclass, early enrollee, he's a young guy, but I think Haven Finney is going to be outstanding at LSU. He just looks so obvious. that he's going to be incredible one day. But he's telling you there where they're putting their emphasis on the defensive line. Now, he was asked about P.J. Woodland and how he's developed at corner. It's 11.
He's had a really good camp so far, and progressed from the spring. He's been physical. Has some really good receivers that are different styles. We have smaller ones, taller ones to go against, and has really stepped up his game, which has been a big challenge to him to do.
I think P.J. Woodland is a great, not that he needs it, but it's a great validating factor for Corey Raymond. I mean, P.J. was a 3-star, and Corey knows guys that he's looking for and how to mold them based on the skill set he's looking for to mold them and grow and develop. And it's really exciting to see those guys. It's why you're looking at Michael Turner and his growth and development. And you know, obviously, Jakeem Jackson is still there, who Corey had at Florida and brought him over. And that's why I'm really excited about Haven Finney and what the future is going to be at that position. So interesting to look at those two spots, corner and edge rusher, the two spots where you suffered injuries in spring, the two spots where most likely, if the 5-for-5 ruling comes into play and you're able to add anyone from 2022 where you'd be interested in adding corner or edge rusher, but two spots where your frontline guys, Pickett, Woodland, Uman and Ross, you feel really good about your frontline guys. What you really need is depth. All right, we're right about Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com, Arco.com. It's Arco Power Systems, industrial Generac generator power. That's what they do over at Arco, and they do it all over the Gulf South. They're based here in Baton Rouge, but at Arco, they help businesses north to Little Rock, east to Mobile, west to San Antonio. Draw a giant circle. Anywhere in that footprint, Arco helps. Baton Rouge to Bossier, Harvey, Mandeville, Mobile, LaPorte, Texas, San Antonio, Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com, Arco.com. Think about what losing power means to your business. Power goes out. What does that mean to your business? Well, Arco makes sure when the power goes out, boom, your business doesn't miss a beat. Industrial Generac generator power for your business. And they do everything turnkey. They sell, service, rent, install your industrial Generac generator power. Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, Arco.com. Okay, it is after further review. Jimmy will be here in 15 minutes for Otter Locks. We do have preseason football tonight. We took it on the chin with the Otter last week for the Hall of Fame game. So would love to see the Otter get back to his winning ways. It's hard. I was listening to an interview Jimmy was doing with one of the handicappers out in Vegas. It's really hard to handicap preseason now. Not that I guess that it was ever easy, but there were times where you could bet unders and things that were just trended very heavily. But the Otter does have a couple of NFL preseason plays tonight on Otter Locks, a couple of baseball plays as well. You want them, you get them for free over at LouisianaSports.net. And Jimmy will be here again in about 15 minutes from right now. Stick around. We'll continue. It's AFR.
After further review.
Love telling you about Watermark and Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Of course, Renaissance Baton Rouge right there on Bluebonnet. They call it Southtown, that area on Bluebonnet near I-10 across from the Mall of Louisiana and Perkins Row. It's beautiful, sprawling hotel. As a matter of fact, last Friday when I was in the hospital, my room was on the 8th floor of Our Lady of the Lake, and as I could look out of my window, I was looking from Essen toward Bluebonnet. I could see Renaissance Baton Rouge, the big, beautiful script R with the circle around it logo. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge. You know, every Renaissance is unique, truly, in the literal sense. No two Renaissance hotels are exactly alike because every Renaissance is unique to that market. So, like, you walk into Renaissance Baton Rouge, you'll notice, like, the carpet, those are like crab traps. You look at the sculpture behind the front desk, that's a 2-scale model of the Mississippi River, and it's all of its estuaries. Great place for any event. Tallulah's a great dining experience. It's right there. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
Ever wonder why cane sauce doesn't come in a pre-sealed packet? It's because it's made fresh inside every Raising Cane's every single day. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Community sailing is all about getting people in the New Orleans area out on boats, out on Lake Pontchartrain. Gulf Coast Bank helps us provide opportunities to get folks out who might not otherwise have the financial means to come sailing. Auctions in August is an online fundraiser that helps nonprofits like us service the community. Bidding through Auctions in August is a lot of fun because there's so many different items. There's something for everyone, so you're sure to find something that relates directly to you that you'll enjoy bidding on, and you get to help out the community.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
After a decade.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
Sometimes the internet doesn't let you down. A lot of the Jayden Daniels memes and one-liners have been good today. Ray on the text line said maybe DJ Pickett should wear the number 05. I have also heard people suggest that Jayden might freak out when he sees that Lamar Brown is wearing 2 5s on his jersey. Of course, he wears 55. And maybe my favorite was that a buddy of mine sent me a text and said Jayden has sent a cease and desist to, well, I don't think I can say that company. It's a time-sensitive lube shop, if you know what I mean, that has a 5 in it. And it was pretty good. And then it just started a whole thing like Maroon 5 will now be just known as Maroon. The Jackson 5 will just be known as Jackson. 5 for fighting will just be known as for fighting, just taking out all the 5s. And maybe best was 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge will just be 104 ESPN Baton Rouge, the big X on the 104.5 logo. So there have been some interneting things today that have been pretty funny to bring some levity to the situation. But one of the questions I got on the text line was, someone asking, what is from William, who said, Matt, what does Jayden want? So he wants all LSU memories to be erased, and it'll be like he never played there, no pictures of him or memories? That would definitely hurt Jayden more than LSU. And, it's kind of a simple way to say it, but William is right. Like, when you think of it and boil it down practically, it just doesn't make sense. Like, who are you hurting by sending a cease and desist to LSU? Like, to stop using your stuff and promoting you? I mean, you're not hurting LSU in that respect. You're hurting yourself and your image and your legacy. And then it just, why wouldn't you want your stuff on display and your accomplishments honored and recognized? My hope is it's a thing where cooler heads will prevail. As Jayden, we mentioned it earlier, he put out a an Instagram story today where he said he's been locked in on training camp. That's been his number one focus. He said, I have a lot of gratitude for my time at LSU, and I'm proud of what my teammates and I accomplished there. Noting, obviously there are issues to be worked out between my team and LSU, and my hope is that it'll get done privately. But said my sole personal focus is on Commanders football. I realize the business of football is unique, and I trust this can all be resolved. I mean, that's an optimistic point of view, and I'm glad he put that out there. And I sincerely think he's right that it can be worked out, but it just needs to be worked out from Jayden's perspective. Like, he's the one who's on, like, DJ Pickett is going to wear 5. That's not changing. And he needs to be okay with that to proceed and not be bothered by someone wearing a number that's not retired. I mean, it's a pretty binary thing here. For what it's worth, DJ Pickett did meet with reporters today, and he opened up his media availability when he met with reporters with an opening statement on the number 5 jersey. This is what DJ said.
Wore the number my whole life since I was 4 years old. It's a number I was promised. And I wish Jayden the best. Good player, and he did real good here, so that's all.
It was a brief statement, as you heard from DJ Pickett, and as we went through all the particulars earlier in the show today, it was something that was promised Pickett during recruitment that I was told, really in no uncertain terms, that if 5 were not an option, DJ Pickett would not have signed with LSU. All 3 of it. And listen, like, I think that's silly. If you love a school and the coaching staff, and he wanted to play for Corey Raymond and play in the SEC and at LSU and all this stuff, and the jersey number alters a lifelong decision, like, I think that's silly. But I'm a 44-year-old man. I'm not an 18-year-old kid who's trying to make a college decision. And maybe that'll matter for him his whole life, or maybe he'll look back in time and say it wasn't really that big a deal. I don't know. He'll get there and figure it out, whatever. But with the conversations I had today, suffice to say that if 5 were not an option for DJ Pickett, he would not have picked LSU. And he and his family made sure that all of his finalists knew that. LSU, Miami, and Oregon. It was a prerequisite for all 3 of his finalists. And I really believe, again, based on conversations I had today, that in this offseason, when DJ Pickett was going through his contract negotiation about coming back to LSU, the conversations were not about money. Now, he got more money because he's a really good player. He was a freshman All-American. But the conversations were not DJ Pickett saying, I want more money. The conversations from DJ Pickett's perspective were he wanted number 5. And so Lane Kiffin had a decision to make. Do you issue a number that is not retired and keep an All-American cornerback? Or do you let this guy potentially walk out the door over a jersey number that's not retired? It was an easy decision. I think it's an easy decision. Now, can LSU and the powers that be and Jayden Daniels and his team all get on the same page? That's a sincere hope that they can. So, as it develops, we'll certainly talk about it. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Evermore, EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Drink Evermore. Of course, you want to stay hydrated out there in this Louisiana heat. 95 degrees here at 5:43 p.m. Make sure you have delicious Evermore natural artesian water. Y'all, not all water is the same. Not all water is the same. Not all bottled water is the same. Pick up a bottle of water and look at where you'll see, like, minerals added for flavor, or whatever taken out, whatever added. Like, Evermore is just natural artesian. It is spring water straight from an artesian well, piped right out of the well into the bottling facility. It's only filtered to get the sediment from the ground out of it, and then it's right into the bottle. So you're drinking a truly natural product. Go read some of the reviews. I love when y'all share photos with me. So if you see Evermore out in the wild, you're drinking your own, make sure you tweet a picture, post it on social media, tag me in it. Love sending those off to my friends at Evamore. EVAMOR. Available at great local retailers and online at evamore.com. Okay, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We do have preseason football tonight. I'm fired up for it. If nothing else, maybe the most intriguing part of this schedule tonight is Fernando Mendoza will make his preseason debut. The Heisman Trophy winner, the number 1 overall pick. As we know, they've already, it's very likely Kirk Cousins will be the starter there at the beginning of the season for the Raiders. But there are 6 NFL preseason games tonight, 2 of them on the NFL Network. Packers at Steelers is at 6 o'clock, so we're here in about 15 minutes. And then a smidge later, it'll be this at 8 o'clock tonight on the NFL Network. It's Tennessee at San Francisco. You've also got Detroit at Cincinnati. You've got the Colts at the Patriots, and you've got the Chargers at the Texans. So lots of LSU, former LSU Tigers will be playing in the preseason tonight. Their openers, 6 games on the docket. It's time to imbibe on NFL football, even if it's, preseason football, and a lot of guys that'll be working as accountants next week that'll be playing in these games. But still, it's preseason football. It's time to watch and enjoy. I'll be doing that tonight as soon as we knock off and get out of here. But there is one more piece of business at hand. The matter, of course, is Otterlock. So we'll knock out our final break. Jimmy will be here to find out what we're betting on tonight. Stick around with us. We'll wrap up next on AFR.
AFR.
Shout out to Rev Fiber, a proud partner of LSU Athletics. Was there at LSU Football Ops today. Lane Kiffin doing his press conference. And while he's standing there at the microphone, you can see on the mic flag of the Lane Kiffin press conference is the Rev Fiber logo. So that's really cool that Lane Kiffin, and every time he's doing a press conference, you'll be able to see that Rev Fiber logo. REVRevFiber.com, RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. That's a website. If you want to learn more, you can find out there for your home or your business. Remember, when we're talking about Rev, we're talking about high-speed internet. We're talking about home automation, security, phone, cable. They can do it all. It's Rev. Check them out at RevFiber.com, REVRevFiber.com. I love the security of an all-fiber network. You don't have to worry about the power going out and limbs knocking you offline. It's there. It's affordable. It's RevFiber.com. At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Southern Classic Chicken, we take pride in serving the freshest, seasoned, and marinated hand-breaded fried chicken. It's so good, it's wrong. Choose from a variety of classic sides like our zesty Cajun seasoned fries, savory red beans and rice, or sweet corn grits. Drive through today and pick up a family box or one of our classic combos and enjoy a true Southern classic. Order online and download our loyalty app to start earning those crispy and juicy rewards. Loyalty matters.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with
Better coverage for less money. That's what you find at Insurance Network of Louisiana. You can give them a buzz, 293-0450, 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net, Insurance Network of Louisiana. This is such an easy process, y'all. It's so easy. Like, they actually do everything. I mean, even in times when I have switched policies with Insurance Network of Louisiana, like they'll get me on the phone with the insurance company. I'll just give a verbal approval, and then I hang up, and they handle everything. They become your insurance agent, but they shop dozens of the top-rated companies in the world to find you better coverage for less money. For your home, for your auto, for your business owners. You want to improve your bottom line? Maybe I'm burying the lead here. Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450, 293-0450, or online at lainsurance.net.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
All right, down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR. We got one thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
What's up, Matthew? How you doing today?
Wasting my day talking about a guy, an adult man, and a number on a jersey.
I can't believe this whole thing is happening. It's just so not important. I don't know. I've talked about it enough. I can't believe it's happening.
The crazy thing.
I really can't believe world-class athletes are worried about things that don't matter. That just do not matter. So anyway,
I did an interview with a DC radio station today, and obviously they're pro Jayden. And my point is, look, I love Jayden, but as a Commanders fan supporter, like, wouldn't you rather your quarterback be worried about training camp instead of his college jersey number?
I talked to Tim Murray today from Beeson, and he's from DC, and he's always leaned on me for some, our back and forth LSU and DC type of stuff, Dylan Cruz, other type of stuff like that. And no, he said there's a big chunk of fans that are not happy with him either.
I believe it.
So, yeah, no. So, I mean, it's a non-win. And I'm glad you posted your story today and say he personally reached out to LSU, contacted LSU. That is. I mean,
it was an important distinction. It was an important distinction because everyone assumed that it was Regina, and she has been involved. I don't think that would surprise anybody, but Jayden did reach out to LSU leadership, and that was the initial contact. Was Jayden making contact with LSU leadership?
All right, 3-1 last night. Let's get
let's go.
Baseball.
Great
Very
night.
light schedule tonight because most of the games were played this afternoon. In Minnesota, about even money. They are creeping. We talked about that. They are just playing better ball as of late, much better than their overall record. And so we like them at home, basically at even money tonight. The Angels are playing Texas. Angels are completely out of it. Texas is a game and a half out, but Texas is not playing very well either, and they're going against a hot pitcher. Urania is a guy that I've been chasing, been backing as of late, and so plus 140 is roughly what they are. We're going to go with the Angels at home. Already won 2 of 3 of the first 3 games of this 4-game set, and then we got Cincinnati, the Bengals. The Bengals in the first quarter, Burrow's going to play a series or 2, and so we're going to go with them. They did that last year. We had the 2 series. They scored 14 points. They won the first 2 games with him. They started out good, so Zach Taylor's going to do it again. He's going to play Chase T. Higgins, and also their newly acquired defensive player, Dexter Lawrence, over from the Giants. We're going to tie that up with Tennessee because Tennessee's playing everybody. First-year coach who coaches certainly, value the preseason, want to try and get a win, create a winning sort of culture there against San Francisco. Veteran coach Shanahan, he's got his own injury problems. They had tons of injuries last year, and they got tons of injuries in camp. They're not playing any of their starters, so Tennessee for the full game. you're laying about 130 on that parlay. It is available at DraftKings.
Yep.
I know the menu is reduced a little bit for preseason, but that first quarter full game Tennessee parlay is available. And then the Cardinals, you know, understand why the Vegas is going up. Jacoby Brissett will start, and that Carson Beck is going to play again. He looked really sharp last week in the Hall of Fame game. We're going to take the Cardinals +3 against Las Vegas.
All right, so 2 games on the diamond with the Twins and the Angels, and then in the NFL, the Cardinals +3, and then you got a parlay. It's a Titans money line parlay linked up with the Bengals Titans with the Bengals first quarter. That comes back at minus $1.33 right now over at DraftKings. Tomorrow, Friday at Rufino's.
Yes, indeed. Friday. Come, the games can't get here soon enough.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it. All right, Otter, thank you. Have a good night. Good luck.
All right, good luck.
All right, man, we appreciate it. All right, it's Jimmy Ott. It's After Further Review. Remember, if you missed anything, AFR On Demand, presented by Breck Golf. You can get it on podcast, YouTube. It's all there for you. Braxton, Paulie, thanks. Appreciate the hard work. Y'all have a great night. See you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Love telling you about our friends at FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake Championship Health Partner of LSU Athletics. FMOLhealth.org/LSU. FMOLhealth.org/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU together. We roar. Saturday, looking forward to being at the Capitol Gala Best Dressed. One of my favorite events in Baton Rouge every single year. And it's all benefiting the Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Institute. And when I tell you about Our Lady of the Lake, yes, we talk about the Championship Health Partnership with LSU Athletics. I've told you about my personal experience last week with my emergency care that I needed and my emergency appendectomy at Our Lady of the Lake. But it's also cancer services, stroke, heart health, pediatrics. If you want world-class care without leaving home, you want Our Lady of the Lake, Championship Health Partner of LSU Athletics. FMOLhealth.org/LSU. FMOLhealth.org/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar.
Community sailing is all about getting people in the New Orleans area out on boats, out on Lake Pontchartrain. Gulf Coast Bank helps us provide opportunities to get folks out who might not otherwise have the financial means to come sailing. Auctions in August is an online fundraiser that helps nonprofits like us service the community. Bidding through Auctions in August is a lot of fun because there's so many different items. There's something for everyone, so you're sure to find something that relates directly to you that you'll enjoy bidding on, and you get to help out the community.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season, and we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.